Yo, what's up, Federico? Hope you're doing well. Just setting up over here. I gotta monitor my Twitch again here, see if it's all good. I also added some background music to this starting soon screen here, but I think it's really soft. I think I have to go back into Clipchamp and I think I have to edit it again somehow. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to listen to it. We'll give like 10 minutes or so for people to start coming into the stream here, and then we'll check out the new Wandering NPCs mod. And I'm excited about this one. This one's a cool one. I didn't actually test it, so I'm hoping everything's okay. I'm sure it will be, but yeah. I was wondering if I should maybe turn off Warm Ashes for this mod, but I feel like it's probably not necessary to do that. I was searching the mod page, and I'll actually bring up the mod page again real quick here because I do want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, it looks like the mod author said it should be compatible with pretty much everything. There's a lot of different features here. You have a chance to run into different types of wanderers depending on like the day and night populations. They have the native style menu, so you could talk to them, get the news, get directions. And all of that. Some of them will buy and sell goods, which is cool. They'll flee from monsters, which is also really cool. And there's like a 15% chance on default that the Wanderer is secretly more than they appear. Everything's fine. Install the Necromancer mod. Nice. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, the Necromancer mod is a really, really cool one. I'm glad finally people can kind of capture that class fantasy. I know there was an old Necromancy mod, and I know people like that as well, but yeah, this one goes so far beyond what I was expecting. Yeah, so there's also a chance, encounter chance from 0 to 100% to control the danger or test everything fast. Oh, I see. Encounter chance turnable from 0 to 100%. Gotcha. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so we can test everything quickly. We'll probably do that ourselves, actually. Neutral travelers with stories and road-worn advice. That's cool. There's benevolent meetings. I like that a lot. Like chances to get a wanderer that has like full healing or a gift of gold. That's pretty generous. A real healing potion or a skill lesson. That's really, really cool. Let's see, lightweight billboard characters, okay. No new assets or dependencies, vanilla, save friendly, plays alongside other mods. Yeah, I think we don't have to worry about any compatibility issues, it looks like. Let's see here. Really cool that there's different populations based on the day and night. I wonder if like some of these wanderers, the secretly more than they appear option, maybe they'll be like werewolves or... Oh yeah, hostile reveals could be werewolves, vampires, ghosts, liches, zombies, skeletons, wraiths, or sorcerers. That's cool too. Thieves also could come at us. A swarm of 10 plus imps. This is gonna be sick. I really like the benevolent meetings concept here. Like running into like a priest or some other healer that can like cure a poison would be so clutch. In like a permadeath playthrough if you were out of options. Which would have been nice for me yesterday when I died. Yo, what's up, Lineback? Welcome to the stream. We'll be checking out your mod pretty soon here. I was just reading up on some of the features. You know what I really like about your mod, Lineback? I really like that you thought to add these benevolent meetings. Like full healing, a gift of gold, a real healing potion, but also a skill lesson. I thought that was a really nice touch. But I think these type of benevolent meetings are really cool for like permadeath playthroughs. Having that small chance of like a clutch, emergent moment where you get saved, where you would have otherwise died, makes for some really cool storytelling. I can only imagine if this had happened to me yesterday when I got poisoned and I died. That would be so sick. I love the idea of this. But yeah, I was just reading through the features real quick here. We're going to wait, like, I guess 5 more minutes or so for more people to come in, and then we'll check out the mod. Thanks, man. I didn't want it to be all bad. Yeah. I need to add more, though, I think. I'll just expand this mod more and more over time. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this is really cool. This is something we really, really needed in Daggerfall. And as much as I also love like other mods that tried to accomplish this, it's a little bit different to have encounters spawn up than it is to have like people actually traveling in real time. Hey everyone, I'm glad I caught on the stream. Yo, what's up, friendly cashier? Yeah, we're gonna get started in like 3 to 5 minutes or something. I'll just wait for a couple new people to come in here on the stream. We'll be looking at the Wandering NPCs mod today. Lots of new ways to die. Yeah. That's always good. Yeah, it looks like there is a 15% default chance here for one of the wanderers to be secretly more than they appear. And we could get like werewolves, vampires, ghosts, some other ones. Also a chance for ambushes, which is cool here. Yo, what's up, Blooming Roses? Saw this on Nexus today and immediately wondered when you'd be covering it. Yeah, this is something, this is so up my alley, this type of mod. Yo, what's up, Cold Zero? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Yeah. We'll give it like a few more minutes for some more people to come in. I was just reading through some of the features of this mod here, and I have not actually looked at it myself. So hopefully it's all set up correctly. I'm really excited about this one. This is something I mentioned actually, I don't know which video I was talking about this. I was talking about this exact, well, not exact, but a similar mod idea here. And yeah, it's really sick to finally have this. It's so hot over here that I fell asleep. Yeah, it's pretty hot over here as well, actually, these days. Today especially, actually. I got my AC pumping right now. I think for my little starting screen here, guys, can you actually hear the music at all? I think it's like super low. I think I have to re-edit this in Clipchamp. Oh, I got to start my Twitch stream as well. 1 second here. Yeah, if you guys prefer Twitch, you could also follow me there, watch there. I try to dual stream every single stream here. Yeah, there's supposed to be like a little, I think it's called the Palace theme for, can you hear the music? It's not too loud? Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Really love the 15% mystery stranger thing. Hope you encounter it this stream. Will you consider bumping up that stat and mod config just to show it off later on? Yeah, for sure, Blooming. We're gonna definitely pump up some of the settings here. Actually, I might do that first before we actually get into the game, just because that's actually a good idea. I almost forgot to do that. Just so we actually get that stuff quickly. I think when I actually play it myself in like a playthrough, I'll probably have it much lower. But for the sake of showcasing the mod, we should definitely pump that up a little bit. Yo, what's up, Eno? How's it going? And welcome in, NGC. Good to see you both again. Yeah, this is going to be a cool one, guys. I think you're really going to like this. If you're a fan of Warm Ashes, but you want more of like a real-time traveling with actual destinations on these NPCs and a little bit more variety of what could happen, I think this mod will be perfect for you. Let me see here. I'm looking at the mod settings. All right, there it is. Traveling NPCs. We got spawn chance. I'll put that to 100%. Oh, it's already on 100% actually. Spawn interval. The mod checks whether to spawn a new wanderer group. Set high for sparse, realistic wilderness. I'm going to really drop this then. We'll put the spawn interval at like 20. Yeah, for my own playthrough, I'd definitely put it to like 5% to keep it nice and strange. Yeah, it's cool. Yo, what's up, Glenn? Welcome. You'll be back in 15 minutes? Sound good? Yeah, we'll probably start really soon here. We got some people in the chat now. Oh, two musics are playing? It's too loud? Gotcha. One sec. Oh, my bad, yeah. Let me reduce this. All right, it might sound better now. It might be too low now. Let me turn this off here. Okay, now we got... Oh, no, now you can't hear... Can you hear me? Is my voice still coming through? No music now, okay. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, this Unity page, the music actually stopped for me too. So it should come back in a little bit. Yo, what's up, Van? Time to really see what this mod can do? Yes, sir. I think the audio should be a little bit better now. The music, it stopped for me too, so it'll come back in a little bit, I think. This Unity page always kind of stops music, then comes back. All right, so I think for spawn interval, if I'm reading this right, I want this to go very low, right? I think that sounds right. We got spawn chance at 100, spawn interval at like 24. That's super low. It says the mod checks whether to spawn a new wanderer group. Set high for sparse, realistic wilderness. So we definitely want this low. We'll do the max wanderers. Minimum distance in Unity units a wanderer can spawn from the player. Yeah. So yeah, Federico, I think there's just no music on this page at the moment, I think. Unless it's also messed up for me. Nah, I think there's just no music right now actually playing. Spawn distance maximum. Do we huh. All right, let me get into game here and see what happens. We'll go on the druid character, I think. Let me check my stream again. Yo, what's up, Pumpy? How's it going? We're gonna check out this Wandering NPCs mod soon. This should be cool. All right, I have a save all set up here. And then we'll see if you guys can hear the music. That was kind of interesting because I didn't really change my OBS settings there, so I kind of wonder why the music was so loud this time. That's kind of strange. Maybe I All right. Is the sound okay now? I might have to lower it or raise it. You guys can let me know. By the way, Unity units are about a meter. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I brought the settings down a bit so we could try to force it to spawn, which is cool. I'm really glad you added those. I could hear sounds, but seems a little quiet. Gotcha. Okay, let's try to pump that up a little bit here. I'm so bad at audio stuff. Sorry, guys. I feel like every stream I'm getting a little bit better, though, so bear with me. In like a month or two, I'll be decent at this. How about now? What do you guys think? Probably also should not choose a region that's so mountainous, because I'm probably going to lag a decent amount. My OBS always messes up my sounds. You're doing good around. Thanks. Sounds great now. Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I underestimated how confusing some of the streaming stuff is for me personally. All right, I think we are ready to check this out now. It's good. Okay, nice. Yeah, I pumped up the spawn settings for this. So I think for a little bit, we'll just travel, see if we find anything. And if we don't find anything after a little bit, then I'll use like console commands to fly around and we'll specifically look for them with like a vantage point. But yeah, I'm excited about this. This is really very cool. If you guys don't know, I could do a short introduction of the mod here. I actually have the mod page up as well. It adds a bunch of wandering NPCs to the wilderness. And these are NPCs that actually travel in real time. So it's different if you've tried other mods like Warm Ashes. This is not quite the same as that, actually. Warm Ashes, as you travel, will cause like a encounter to spawn. And this is not the same thing. This is actually having them travel through the wilderness in real time. So yeah, it's exciting. It's very different. It's really the first of its type. We haven't really had a mod that's quite like this. Yo, what's up, Vox? Welcome. Yeah, so it's really cool. And there's a bunch of different sort of encounters you can find. Maybe some NPCs will trade with you, or you can sell stuff. There might be some benevolent ones where they can heal you or give you gold, or maybe even skill trainers could be traveling around, which is really cool. And I don't know much about the mod because I'm checking it out for the first time with you guys here, but it would be kind of interesting, right, if some of the skill trainers were not actual skill trainers that are in the guilds. Like maybe someone out in this wild can give you like hand-to-hand when nothing else in the game trains you in hand-to-hand. That could be exciting. Or like some random traveler knows Orcish really well and can train you in Orcish. I probably should not have chosen such a mountainous region though. We might swap regions. And I don't know if I need to wait a little bit of in-game time for them to start, you know, spawning. But we'll just take it slow here at first. That'd be awesome to get a healer, especially after being poisoned. Yeah, Van, I was just saying that. I was just talking about how yesterday that would have been sick. And I was talking about how I really like the benevolent wander concept. Because you can get some really cool, like, emergent storytelling moments from that, right? Like, I could have imagined yesterday when I was poisoned, if I actually had run into a wanderer like that, and it saved the run, that would have been such a sick story moment. Very memorable. Man, this is a super mountainous region here. Maybe you can encounter a traveling acrobat group. They could be teaching you some skills too. Yeah, something like that would be really cool. I think traveling trainers is really, really cool. You know, usually trainers are specifically for guilds. And yeah, I don't know if there's... Oh, this is from Warm Ashes here. This is a pretty cool region, though. Let me see, where am I right now? I'm in Shalgora. Oh, yeah, Shpan, my Breton Bard has gotten better at singing. No more thrown tomatoes when she sings. Nice. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done the Bards and Balladeers guild stuff, but I remember really liking it when I did it. I didn't do a full playthrough of it, though, I don't think. I think I did like half of that playthrough, and that character, I think, is still on my list somewhere, actually. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love when you eventually get invited to palaces to perform. That's just really cool. That's like a nice I made it moment for your character. Damn, this road's janky. Yeah, this road's insane. This mod will make you feel like you're not the only wandering adventurer. Probably gets rid of chosen one-itis that most of us don't like in RPGs. Yeah, absolutely. There's a sense of other people actually going about and doing their things. If you want to see plenty of them for testing, spawn interval is the one to turn down. Okay, spawn interval. I might have to... I don't think your mod has in-game settings, right? Maybe it does. If not, no big deal. I can just restart it when we need to if we don't find stuff. No road can be made like this? Yeah. This would be pretty dangerous. I love this mod that adds stuff to the world. I want more of this. Yeah, me too. This is something I was waiting for a very long time. And it's exciting to finally have it, especially in this like era. This is the era of awesome Daggerfall mods recently. But in a little bit, if we don't see anything, I'll go into my fast flying mode and we'll get like a bird's eye view here. I really need some better world mods. My world is still flat and empty with all my mods. Oh yeah? Are you using the World of Daggerfall project, Pumpy? That's what I would recommend for some new topography. Although this region's kind of crazy. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that for new topography, some new points of interest. This would be at most a dirt path, not cobble. Yeah. Empty compared to yours? Yeah, I gotcha. Should be at the bottom, or at least it is for me. Oh, okay, it does have. Oh, okay, interesting. Let me see here. I think I might be missing it. Though it might not be an issue with the mod itself. I've had this issue with a couple other mods, actually. I'm not sure why. My my mod list is getting so like messed up recently just from so many files having loaded up and removed some and then loaded up more. I saw you had a mod called Parallax Dungeon Doors. What does that mean? Parallax Dungeon Doors is just if I showed you a dungeon, I could actually show you real quick. Let me do that. I can show you. Let's see. Do we have a dungeon here? It just changes the way the dungeon exit looks. So it looks a little bit more like realistic. It has depth. Does this region not have like any Yeah, I can go to a cemetery and show you real quick. Hey Shpan, do the alchemist merchants in your game sell ready-made potions? What's up, Opa? Yeah, they do, actually. If you want that, you need to get a mod called... And I'll write it in chat for you, actually. You want a mod called Roleplay and Realism Items. There's 2 different mods called Roleplay and Realism. Actually, there might be more than 2. There's 2 that I know about. And the items one specifically, this will add potions that are already made into the alchemist shops. So it's pretty cool. That's weird for me, it shows up there. Maybe I might have something messed up with it. I could also change it in my load order line back. Do you remember to actually enable it? You might have gone to the options but not enabled it. Yeah, I'll check that again as well. I might not have done that right. Let's take a look at that real quick. For some reason I was worried it would interfere with some of the other mods I have. I'm hoping that's not the case. Yeah, it's pretty compatible with most stuff, Pumpy, I'd say. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if something would be incompatible with it. Yeah, so the parallax doors look like this. You see how there's kind of like some depth to it when you move by? Or move back, I should say. It almost looks like it's moving into the distance. It's a pretty cool mod, a small one, but adds some nice visual look here to the exit doors on dungeons. It makes the dungeons look like it has depth. Yeah, when you move around, yeah, exactly. I might have messed this up, guys, so I think real quick, this would not be the first time I forgot to enable a mod, so let me save here. I'm gonna close out the game here. I'm gonna give you guys the overlay real quick as I restart this. Give me like 2 seconds here. I can catch up on chat while I'm doing this. There's some paintings that do that. Oh, that's cool too. Yeah. I actually have to fix whatever's going on with my paintings for decorator mod. It's kind of weird. Yeah, they don't spawn for me for some reason. All right, let's head over to the mods here, see if I mess something up. That's so impressive. Yeah, it looks really cool, right? I like it a lot. It's a small little cool mod. All right, we got, where is it? This mod list really needs some yeah. Maybe I didn't enable it. Oh, traveling NPCs. Yeah, it looks like it is enabled. Settings. Did I mess something up here? I also have spawn interval really low. Is this the right... thing here? Let's see. You got the HD painting mods? Oh, yeah. I need to fix that with, just join the Shpan core. Nice. Oh, yeah, guys, by the way, I do have a Discord, finally. But, what's it called? I'm really kind of new to it. So I don't really have it set up that well. It might not be the most interesting thing, but it'll be a good place for at least some, what's it called? Like notifications about what I'm doing and stuff. I'll put it in the chat, actually, for those of you that are curious. One sec. So we got the Discord link here if you guys want to join. There's really not much to it at the moment, but yeah. Once I get better at figuring it out, I'll add more. Yeah, so I think I have it. It should be enabled here. It looks enabled. Let me retoggle it or something. Maybe I should try lowering it in the... Let me try lowering it in the mod list here. Especially below decorator. I don't know what's going on with my mod list these days, but let me put it all the way before vanilla enhanced. So it's basically as low as I can get it. I need to rename it. Yeah. It looked like stepping into a book. Yeah, it's really cool. I think parallax could be used in some other cool stuff as well. Yeah, mine is low in the load order. Okay, yeah, I think this might help me here. Let me just look again. You think this is a good lineback for the spawn interval? Down at like 24? Or should I just go to the lowest, maybe? Something I really want in the future is for the mod list menu to have mod priority numbers on the left of the mod titles. Oh, yeah, that would help a ton. Yeah, there's a couple things like that that would be nice. That interval should be great for testing. Okay, I think we're all set here then. Spawn chance is 100%. All right, save and close. I'll take a look at this again. It's definitely enabled. All right, let's do this. It definitely could have been a load order thing. It would not be the first time. These days, I've been having to constantly change my decorator position. It's kind of strange. I don't know if anyone else has this issue. In my player homes, my decorator menu won't pop up. It's interesting. Role-playing realism items is the reason I stopped playing Daggerfall Unity a while ago. The potions weren't appearing in alchemy shops. Oh, interesting. They're very essential for my no magic forester character. Excuse me. Yeah, for sure. If you're not if you're not doing like a magic playthrough, you really need those potions. And having to just join like a temple faction to accomplish that is not always what you want to do in your role-playing concept. So yeah, I love having potions in the shop. Do you have the main mod also working for you, Opa? Opala? Let's try fast flying a little bit here. They will be everywhere? Okay. I'll do a little fast flying and see if I can find them instead of just traveling on horse here. We'll have a better view. I probably have to wait a little bit of in-game time, right, for them to show up. I could also fast travel if that'll help us. If you guys see any movement, feel free to call it out. I might miss something here. Role-playing realism items needs to be placed high in the load order. Oh, okay, interesting. That's good to know, too. That might help you out there. Also, Shpan, your Daggerfall is looking a lot more colorful and bold than in past vids, like your Pirate Run. Did you add any new visual mods lately? Yeah, actually, Blooming Rose is not a mod, but I decided to finally go through the effect settings, and this ambient occlusion really helps make some of like the corners and edges pop. I didn't really change the color boost though, but I got just a few more options here. I don't think I have any like actual other visual overhaul mod. I still am using vanilla enhanced. But yeah, I do feel like it looks a little bit better with some of those effects on. And a function to search for mods in the list would be great. Yeah, that would be really nice. Yeah, I always have to like scroll through when I like miss over something. We might lag a little bit while we're, you know, so high up like this when the terrain loads in. It scans every 5 seconds. With your settings, they should be everywhere. There must be a conflict. Weird. Oh, interesting. I could try disabling some stuff if you have any guesses. I could try disabling warm ashes. I could try disabling... Oh, there's my dragon hanging out. How'd he get all the way over here? Check if the in-game mod menu... Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Is the mod menu even showing up now? It looks like it's not. Yeah, I must have some kind of conflict maybe. Or some issue with my mod list here. I don't think I'm missing it. No, it's not showing up still. I imagine it is warm ashes. I feel like it would be. Let's try that actually. Let's just try some troubleshooting here. This will be good information too for anyone else if they have some kind of issue. All right, let me reload this here. I should play around with that. Never bothered with it. Would you ever download Dream 90s, or is too much of a drain on performance, or just prefer the aesthetic? Yeah, I've tried it a long time ago. I actually like Dream. I think it looks good, but I just prefer vanilla enhanced. So we could try... Let me also get... Well, I don't know if that would do anything. But yeah, I kind of just like vanilla enhanced. But I also like Dream as well. I think they both look good. Maybe it needs a new game. I don't think it does. At least, I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. What else could be? Let me remove some of these. Like this Tamriel Atelier mod has been messing some stuff up for me. Let me remove that. Something weird about this mod. If I have it disabled, then like Decorator's not working sometimes. So let me get rid of that. Let me also get rid of Warm Ashes. And we'll try these two, and then we'll keep going. If it doesn't work, we'll try some more stuff. I have it pretty low. That could also be the problem, but I would imagine that the author has tested it on a current save. Yeah, it doesn't need a new save. I've seen other people that it works for, including me, so it has to be a conflict. Gotcha, Limedeck. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Let me also get rid of readied spellcasting hands, because I've had some issues with that in the past. Let me look at any... Penwick papers, let's get rid of that as well. That might be a good start here. Location loader. I'm not sure what this is for. Let's see what else we got here. Kleptomania was a new addition from me, so maybe that could cause issues. What else could affect NPCs here? Interesting, though. I wouldn't expect it since it's such a simple mod. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it either. I do have this Legacy Daggerfall expanded textures. I don't even know if I need that anymore. I used to have this a long time ago for the Fishguard Village. I'm just going to take a quick look here. Yeah, I already have this updated one by 9land. Yeah. All right, let's just start with this. This could be a good start here. I could also try a different character. Maybe I'll go on the Thief real quick and see if she's any better at it. We may have found the first bug or incompatibility. Yeah, maybe. I would expect it more to just be an issue with my personal mod list, honestly. Beautiful Cities needs Legacy installed? Gotcha, okay. Banshee events or things betwixt? Yeah, I do have things betwixt as well. We could also try that. Let me go on my Thief here. We'll try a different character. And first, we'll check if the mod loaded in the settings thing there. Yeah, bandagey events is a good thought too. I could try that as well. All right, let's see. Does the mod show up here? Hey, there it is. Yo, guys, I actually think I know how crazy this sounds. I mean, I guess it could be Warm Ashes, but I know for sure that many people will be using Warm Ashes with this. So I feel like if that was a incompatibility issue, that I think someone would have reported it. What I actually think might do it, and this is so weird, but I think it's Tamriel Atelier. Because this is like the third mod that has had an issue with. And as soon as I disabled that, we only disabled like 5 mods, right? We disabled this, Warm Ashes, and a few others. And if I'm wrong, I'll update that. But I think that might be it. But now that it's actually showing up here, I think we're probably going to be good now. And I can also just check the settings now. Cool. We got the spawn interval really low, so it should be set. To be honest, I can't see this mod interfering with anything. It'll probably just add onto the world, not screw around with pre-existing settings. Yeah, that's what I think so too. That's what I would have thought too, yeah. But because I've had so many issues with that Tamriel Atelier mod, I think there's something up with it. Because it always breaks my decorator as well. Oh, this is a really pretty area that I was in on the Thief. Only one way to find out? Yeah, let's get to it. Let's take a look if we see anybody. If you guys see any moving NPCs, feel free to call it out to me. Yeah, Tamriel Atelier probably just inefficiently coded, unoptimized. Yeah, something like that, I'm thinking. There'll be a little bit of lag spikes as the distant terrain loads for me. Just so you guys know. Mon Daggerfall is like the ship of CS, yeah. I actually think Unity is surprisingly stable. It's kind of cool. Oh, if I just stand on the ground. Oh, it's great to know. Okay, that's even better. Let's just stand on the ground then and wait for them to come to us. I'll also toggle God mode here. Hey, already. Awesome. Yes, we got it to work. I'll actually do further testing on my own. Man, look at this. This is so cool. What I really like about this mod too right now is if you're familiar with Warm Ashes, it always has to sort of stop the screen to let you know that some kind of encounter is taking place. This is just completely seamless, you know? I'm just standing here, hanging out. We got some other ones over there. We got a nice group here. All right. They even stop and look at you like townspeople do, you know? Which is a lot different than how like pre-rendered NPCs interact with you. Hey, we got all these different options. Oh, this is an interesting interface. So this is a little different than, you know, the normal interface, if that's what you were expecting. This has its own thing here. Tell me about yourself. We can also talk. Couriers won't take the forest road after dark no more. That should tell you something. So cool. We get some little news or something. I actually don't want to click on the news. And only because... Actually, I guess Linebeck, you could tell me, is this going to trigger a rumor, like a random rumor to show up? I think regularly about the shift SES for modding in general. I start to wonder when the game becomes something totally different. It makes me wonder if I'd still like vanilla Daggerfall. Yeah, it's definitely different. I love they don't look like enemy NPCs. Yeah, exactly. They look like the proper townspeople, these ones at least. Oh, Nearest Town is cool. Yeah, Nearest Town is really cool. We can go into a shopping interface like this. And we can sell stuff, it looks like. How's the weather? Blue sky and a dry road. Today's a gift. Don't waste it standing here. This is actually very cool. You might be thinking, you know, we can see the weather, but if you add something like a survival mod, like climate and calories, or the lone road, or the long road, I forgot what it's called, then getting weather information is kind of cool too. You can roleplay as a boring small talker. That's what's up. Yeah, just like a rumor, just random things I made up. Oh, okay. So it's not actually taking from the game's rumor pool. It's actually stuff that you've written. Tell me a story. That's so cool. Where are you headed? Last time I was in Cromtown Rock, the prices were good, worth the walk. Yo, that's really cool. I could actually see where she's headed then. Oh man, this is crazy. I wasn't expecting this. This is why I like, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. That's where she's headed. This is why I didn't want to spoil any of it. I wanted to see it for the first time with you guys. Nearest town or dungeon. That's really clever too. I actually really like this for the dungeon option because in vanilla Daggerfall, the only way to know where the dungeon is located on your map is to find a dungeon map, which is an item, or to get a quest that specifically tells you to go there, then it'll be revealed on your map. So having a new way to actually discover dungeons is pretty cool. Look House Tower is the closest ruin to here. I'm actually curious, does that now show up on my map here? It might not. What did she say that was again? Oh, okay, now she's telling me the closest settlement. That's cool too. Let me catch up on chat real quick. It'd be cool if it hooks in with the 3D animals and 3D wagons mod to give some wandering NPCs some horses and cars. Yeah, that could be cool, Techno. I feel like there could be like a million things like that. How's the weather? Yeah, it's funny. Honestly, I'm just struggling to think of things to add at the weather point. I like it. I would prefer having options like that. The thing I like about games like this, and whenever you design like, not you personally, Lineback, for when someone designs a mod or something, I like role-playing options that aren't necessarily, you know, always perfectly functional, you know? Even if I ask how the weather is, I think these options, they don't all need to have functional reasons, you know? It's just cool to have the option to speak like this, role-play. But the weather can still have functional options, right? If you're playing a survival mod. Level modders go above and beyond. Good job. Yeah, this is really awesome. Wickhouse. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Wickhouse. So I don't know if that would show up just because she told me it. Yeah, I think it won't. Okay. So it's not like she's revealing the dungeon for you. Tell me a story. I ferried a passenger across the river once, paid me double to say nothing of it. What he was doing, I guess nobody will ever know. Man, this is sick. We're actually very close to a river. I'm gonna fly up real quick. You see that river there? Man, this is cool. We got some going their own way. We'll test this also at night as well to see what kind of encounters we get at night. Let's talk to someone different here. You have no idea how useful you are to me. Whoa, we got an encounter here. All right, big mistake, my friend. This guy was disguising himself in the crowd. Hey, we got him. All right, kind of curious to see what he'll have. Just normal loot stuff. That's good. Man, it looks like they ran away, right? I think they were running away from him at first. That's what it looked like to me. This is so cool. All right, what else can I do with talk? Oh yeah, this is doing in country, hard land, harder people. She's a proud native here. These two look like they are coming from... it's the exact same wording as Language Skills Overhaul mod. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if it's like some kind of interaction happening. Because in Language Skills Overhaul, you always have these two options, and it looks the same here. But that might just be the mod also using that. I'm not sure. Any news? Heard a merchant caravan got robbed on the coast road last week. Yeah, this is cool. So the news, they're not pulling from the actual rumor list, which is good for me, because I actually... For my Druid playthrough, I added a bunch of rumors that are related to my character. That'll be fun for you guys to see in the episode. And because of that, I don't want to spoil them. So this is good for me. Lucky, or I guess unlucky? Yeah. Hell yeah, mysterious stranger? Yeah. Yeah, they run away? Yeah, that's sick. I love that idea. A cool thing to add for when asking for dungeon/town location would be if they gave you the compass directions like west or east. Would make the compass mod more useful? Yeah, that could be cool. Something like that. Or maybe a skill check to have them mark it on your map. I mean, there's so many options you could go with, but yeah, the compass mod's another one I kind of want to try out again. I haven't used that in a long time. Would be funny if Gorath disguised himself as a traveling NPC in a very rare event and just wreck your stuff, perhaps future update. That would be really cool. I might add that. Yeah, this is cool. This is so cool right now. Where are you headed? She's looking... Oh yeah, so that's cool. She's part of the same group, and she's also going to Cromtown Rock. I like that a lot. Tell me a story as well. My grandfather once saw a skyship the color of rust. It hovered over the fields and vanished. He spoke of it every winter till he died. You know what? That's a good fit if you got the airships mod. If you're looking for trouble, Wickhouse Tower. Okay, this is cool. So, I like the idea of knowing where the dungeons are like that. It would be cool if I... Yeah, I don't think it's being marked. That's okay, though. That's interesting. And, yeah, I think this... I don't have any even marked on this map in general. This map doesn't even have, like, crypt... Oh, yeah, it does. It does have one here. Okay. Alright, gotcha. We're also going to test some of the night encounters and stuff like that to see how that goes. And we'll also test encounters from different regions and stuff like that to see what kind of NPCs we can spawn. Keep in mind, guys, we also have this on, like, the highest spawn rate for testing purposes. So, if you stick with, like, the default settings, it won't be this crowded, which is cool. I'll probably go somewhere in the middle, actually. I like running into people. I really like Monster University, but this Wandering NPCs mod looks sick. Yeah, I've heard of Monster University. I haven't actually tried it myself, I don't think. If I did, I would have tried it a long time ago, but I don't think I ever did. Just a bunch of Brent women that look the same in a forest. It might tell you of a dungeon you have not discovered, and then it may not be on the map. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense, Linebeck. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening, actually. They say the road north is rough this season. Plenty of mud and deep ditches. Mind your step. Interesting. Word is a mad mage set up in a tower down south and pays well for raw ingredients. I wonder if some of these are pulling from the lore, but I'm so bad at Elder Scrolls lore that I wouldn't catch the reference. Oh, I was wondering, Linebeck, are these two options down here intentional? Or, is this like some kind of interaction with my language skills overhaul mod, I wonder? I want to see people that are going to clear out a dungeon. Oh, that could be cool too. Yeah, something like that could be interesting. Monster University makes light and sight and direction facing matter with mobs. Interesting. Makes dungeons feel wholly different. Highly recommend if you haven't tried it. Oh, that's interesting. What becomes relevant when they're like not facing you? Is it just like stealth checks or their ability to actually see you and chase you or something like that? Does clicking talk trigger the main dialogue menu? I think it triggers something different. Nah, yeah. They say the gates of Old Beladar's farm are open to travelers again. I'll believe it when I see it. She's got a formal hat and a steel short sword. All right, she comes prepared. And I wonder if they have a set amount of gold, or if I could kind of just sell to them like I do a shopkeeper, where it's a lot. I actually don't really have items on this character. Let me go open a... Let's open shop. What will be the most expensive? Like maybe a pawn shop or something? Yeah, let's grab some books out here. Let's see if she'll buy all my books for a good price or not. And some other stuff. No, that's just the books, actually. We'll take those. And let's try to sell that to her. I'm just curious here. Yeah, looks like we're getting a good price for these. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so it's kind of working like a normal merchant here. That's really cool. So it's kind of like a nice way to sell without having to return to a city or town. It just pulls from everything on the menu? Oh, gotcha, okay. You can stealth up on them, and it makes the game feel less Wolfensteinian dungeons, like more individualized encounter, I suppose. Hard to explain, just overall smarter dungeon crawling. Interesting. Mages will levitate? Oh, that's sick. They just get smarter overall. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a monster AI overhaul type of thing. That's interesting. Maybe I should try that out again. You know, it's been a long time. Anything that fleshes out and fills the landscape is great. I really like the idea of this mod. Yo, what's up, Computer Giraffics? Yeah, this is really, really sick. I'm liking this a lot. And it's something I've wanted for a long time. I talked about it in some of my older videos. The text is left into the game itself, the wording of it, gotcha. Hello, Shpan. Yo, what's up, Mr. Music Guy? You're just in time here. We finally got the mod to work. I had a mod issue myself. So let's go a little fast flying here, and I know they're kind of spawning around me, so I'll just kind of move around and let them spawn and stuff, but curious to see if I can see some new encounters, and then also at the nighttime we'll test some other stuff that could happen. I might also refer to the mod page real quick, because I don't remember every feature off the top of my head here. But yeah, this is so exciting. Yeah, let me drop down here, actually. In my future playthroughs, I'm going to have this. I'm actually just going to add this to my Thief one as well. So that'll be cool. What's interesting for me, though, is that... yeah, I'll have to test which mod specifically actually caused my issue. Because that Atelier mod, for some reason, I need it to be on to... unfortunately, for my decorator to work. I've got some really weird stuff going on my mod list right now. That's another part of the reason I don't want to do a mod pack. Oh, this guy's got my favorite Breton face here. That's my YouTube profile picture there. All right, yeah, looks like we could basically sell anything, right? I don't think there's any restrictions on them. Yeah, I could even sell my horse to this guy. So this is cool. You know, like how some shops have like specific things they'll buy or not buy. It looks like the NPCs here are not restrictive on that stuff. They're just gonna buy anything, it looks like. Tell me a story. I knew a thief who robbed a lich's tome. He came out rich and smiling. He came to regret ever going near that tome. That sounds like me in my last episode when I stole from that shrine. And then I got smited or smoked by the gods. Would have to require Doom Feud for that part, obviously. If there's plague or war events in certain towns made possible through Doom Feud mod, it would be sick to see refugees traveling out of there and can mention it in when you ask them about their story. Yeah, something like that would be crazy. That kind of like reactivity would be insane. That sounds so hard to mod. Would be very cool to implement that stuff. Yeah, for sure. So for the encounters, there are some that only happen in daytime, some only in nighttime, and some in both. You could change the chance of getting the encounters in the setting. Nice, Lineback. Yeah, we're 100% going to be doing some of that. All those events are hard-coded to the game. Doom Feud just adds events around them. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I knew that, because sometimes when you read the sign in a city or town, you'll notice references to like feuds that are going on, faction wars. And you'll also notice it from rumors sometimes, not just from like the signs on towns. Does he have anything for sale? Yeah, he's selling his steel saber. If this modding moment ends up being an era, imagine what DFU will be like this time next year. It makes me want to join in and make mods, but I actually need to play the game so I know what to add. Yeah, I feel that. I would love to learn a little bit of modding myself and contribute just a little bit would be cool. I'm so bad at it, though. I would need like a total beginner's guide to get started, unfortunately for me. These streams are a great time, immediate sense of community, and something happening that I look for in MMOs, but not always got. Hey, I appreciate that, Opa. Yeah, that's really nice of you to say. I've really been enjoying the live streams, honestly. I can't believe how supportive everyone's been. When I really only started like live streaming maybe like 8 or 9 days ago was my first stream, maybe 10 days ago now or something like that. But I was only going to do it like once a week maybe. And I feel like I've done it like almost every day because I'm just enjoying talking to you guys, hanging out, sharing the Daggerfall passion, and also because there's always a killer new mod coming out that I want to test and show you guys. And I'm also thinking that the streams are like the best format for showcasing a mod, in my opinion. At least it's like my favorite these days. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Oh, that's right then, even better. Yeah, I just started playing this for the first time, way harder than Marwin. It's insane. Yo, what's up? Gamenak? Gamenak the Maniac. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it can be, it has a bit of a learning curve for sure, Daggerfall. And depending on how you build your character, the game can be very difficult for sure. The better you get at understanding what's valuable in this game, like the speed attribute is really good in Daggerfall. It's really strong, and building in certain ways, it'll get easier over time for sure. Daggerfall multiplayer mod when? Yeah, yeah. Cold Zero. I don't know. I always hear that there was someone working on it, and then I think they just stopped at some point, but I heard it's still somewhat playable maybe out there. But yeah, it would be sick. You know, if we ever got a multiplayer mod to work, I would 100% love to play with you guys on stream. We'll get a little group going. We'll get an adventuring party, a little fellowship, and we'll do some dungeon delving. We'll do some quests and stuff. It'd be really sick. Quest making is the easiest entry into modding DFU. The quest mechanics are very simple, but also pretty versatile. That's awesome. What's up, Cliffworms? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Yeah, Cliffworms is a very talented mod author, if you guys don't know. Some great mods. Think of how Skyrim mods never die? Yeah, that too. I don't think this is just an era. It's a combination of increasing attention to DFU, AI allowing faster, more frequent mods, and people getting exponentially inspired. Things will keep growing. I really do feel like Daggerfall is having like a bit of a renaissance. I know I said it last stream, but I just feel like the general enthusiasm and like interest has grown so much in the last year. And I'm kind of new to the scene myself. I consider myself new anyway. And I already can feel the difference between 2026 and 2025. And you also can notice it in, you can also notice it just by the amount of like indie games that are trying to capture either like a Scrolls-like, I guess that's what people are calling the genre, which I love that name, a Scrolls-like type of experience. Like, have you guys heard of the Laughless Saint? What's the name called? I don't know. There's a new game that just came out that's extremely inspired by Morrowind. It looks very cool. There's a game called Broken Dagger. There's the Indie Scrolls. All these different types of like indie games that are inspired by Daggerfall's sandbox RPG design or inspired by Morrowind for some of them. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. But yeah, the actual Daggerfall Unity excitement's insane with the modding community. It's growing like crazy. I mentioned last time too, but I'm seeing new mod author names all the time now, which is a lot different from 2025. In 2025, I'd see it every now and then. In 2026, I'm seeing huge new modding projects from names that I had not seen before. So it's crazy. Recently is the first time since I started playing Daggerfall where I will check mods sorted by last update. Yeah, exactly, Techno. Yeah, I check every day now. I used to check like once a week. Now I check every day. We could raid towns. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Cold Zero. We'd have to do that. We would grab the Doom Feud mod, and we would also grab banditry events and do some, either defend some farms or pillage them. 40-50 viewers is insane to have with 4K subs. I just started to stream a little week ago. Hopefully your YouTube's automated system don't think your channel's a buy. Yeah, computer, thanks. I know, it's been crazy. I was expecting like 10 viewers maybe or something like that with my subscriber list, but yeah, I think everyone just kind of loves hanging out and watching some Daggerfall. But yeah, it's been very humbling. I'm always very, very thankful for the support, guys, for sure. And in general, not just the live stream, but also the videos, all that kind of stuff. It's been awesome. Such a sick community, honestly. I've walked this way to the Mooresmith Farmstead 100 times, and Miles know me by now. This is such nice little flavor, you know? I really like this. Thanks, I'm popping in for a few minutes. I saw you're online. Yeah, I took a break from modding, but we'll get back to it as the autumn cold grows. Nice, Cliffworms, that's awesome. Always looking forward to your work. Bro, I only started in 2023 and the scene was nothing like this. World of Daggerfall was barely a thing back in my day and only started arriving properly in 2024 from what I remember. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, that's even before me, honestly. Although I did play Daggerfall technically in 2024, I really only started getting into it like more seriously in 2025 even, which is crazy. Like probably March 2025, so it's a little over a year. Which is unreal. Hopefully someone will be able to finish the rivers part for the basic roads mod. It would be so cool. Yeah, I do notice that some roads do connect. I've seen some bridges that look pretty good, but I don't always see them for some reason, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what that's all about. If this river might actually have a bridge somewhere we could check. No, this one's too small, I think. Yeah, but there was one that had like a proper, really nice looking bridge with like handles and all that kind of stuff, not just like ground that went over the water. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see all these new mods, impressive stuff. I have something catching up to do. Yeah, it's just what makes me really excited about it is that there's just a lot of new names. If you look at like an old 2025 mod showcase video from me, a lot of the legendary Daggerfall mod authors are there, of course, which always thankful for them. But it's just cool now that a lot of my mod showcase videos will have mostly completely new names. We got Vox, Relentless Positivity, Luan is doing some really cool stuff. Now we got Linebeck with this mod. I mean, there's a lot of new cool stuff. Although I think Linebeck, you've made some mods in the past as well already, right? So I don't know if I'd call you a new modder, but yeah, still cool to see all the new stuff coming out and stuff. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Tell me a story. A witch offered to sell me something strange. I don't want to talk about what it was. I respect that. Cliffworms, you still the GOAT? The founding fathers are needed to create the next generation of modders. The Iliac Puddle modder should work on rivers and water areas and towns to make them not just look like blue paths would be incredible. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that could be cool. I think that's... what's his name? I can't think of the name. Jet, right? Yeah, Jet0822. I think is the mod author for that. He's also the one that made the really awesome roguelike mode, which I love. I think I started with Daggerfall back in 2021. Today is night and day. Since then, you had a lot of mods being worked on, but they took forever to come out. Yeah. Yeah, that's way before my time. It's crazy. I feel also like all the really massive projects have been done. For me, it's just small things, mostly things I want fixing. Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Yeah, a lot of like the important overhauls I do think have been pretty well captured in the last year. Now that like a lot of mod authors have finished up all the water stuff, we got a massive injection of just like water themed or like Iliac Bay focused mod content that came out, which was absolutely insane and was perfect timing for my pirate playthrough. Like Iliac Puddle No More, animated water, the Warm Ashes, ship sieging, stuff like that. There was, of course, Come Sail Away, which was absolutely game-changing. Detailed ships as well looks amazing and adds to the vibe. Yeah. Not all those mods came out last year, but most of them did. I'm actually standing on a pretty nice bridge on the island of Brittany between Whiteford and Howling Griffin Hostel. Nice. Yeah, I've seen a couple cool ones. It's kind of weird. I don't always see them, though, interestingly. Yeah, I've seen some cool ones that look, they really stand out. They got like handles and stuff. They say a band of orcs took over an old mill a day's walk east. All right, I think we're going to try now to choose a different region, and we're going to wait until nighttime. And then once nighttime comes, I'll find some more NPCs to talk to, see if we could trigger some new events. That sounds cool. Yeah, there was I actually think I had a save file that I saved right outside one bridge. Hilariously enough, it's super random. I do this sometimes when I want to like show off a location. So I have a lot of taverns that I saved for some of my favorite taverns. So I can use it for videos or I can just show you guys at some point. But I did that with a bridge. I don't know if I'd be able to find actually which character. I got a decent amount here. I'm going to look for that next time and show you guys. It's really cool, actually. It's the only bridge I've seen that looks quite like it. But yeah, let's go to nighttime here. What time is it? Sorry, it's nice and early, so we'll rest until whenever nighttime comes. Let me catch up on chat real quick here, though. Let's see. It helps a lot that Daggerfall Unity has stabilized and is fully released. Yeah, it's one of the best parts about Unity. I just feel like you don't need to be like too like well versed on modding or understanding all the interactions of mods. It just works really cleanly. It really rarely has issues for me. And when I do have issues, it's just like a mod or something. But you don't have to fool around too much with the mod order usually, which I like a lot. Still like 15 hours. To see many NPC wandering, regardless of the conversation variety, makes Daggerfall Alive really nice. Yeah, it's so nice. It's such a flavorful addition to the game. I think the only thing left is a generic house interior. Is there a mod that furnishes the entire game yet? There is the decorator mod, which is the closest we have right now. Yeah, decorator mod's pretty good though. I like it a lot. It would be nice to get an update to it someday, of course. I'm still yearning for more monsters. Would love to see more monsters from future games backported, or I totally want Cliff Racers and Daggerfall. Yeah. Yeah, we got Tyler Brave. Yeah, what's up? Welcome to the stream as well. I think that's the first message I'm seeing from you. We did get from the Daggerfall enemy expansion some, what's it called? Some arena monsters, which is cool. But yeah, to get them like some from future games to come back, that would be crazy. Someone would have to do the artwork for that as well, I think. So, but I would love that, of course. Man, I'm so slow on the chat, guys. Sorry. Let me try to get to some of these. Another thing, though, wandering NPCs could add would be food and water you can buy or request if you have climate and calories installed. Yeah, that could be cool, something like that. Any modders in the chat, please consider working on a mod to build a house anywhere in the world. Not like Minecraft, maybe through a builder's kit you could purchase with different tiers or craftable, maybe. Yeah, that'd be insane. Blooming Roses, like those survival games. Like Conan Exiles or Windrose, if you guys played those. The Long Road lets you build a shack or a 2-story toned tower. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to check out that mod on stream as well someday. Maybe even this weekend. Not even joking, before starting this project here, if I did not make this mod, I would have tried to do some sort of implementation of a home as you described. Oh man, that would be sick, Linebeck. I wouldn't be surprised to see that pop up eventually. It's otherwise possible to make a location change on specific triggers or quest events. Interesting. For example, a quest to build a location step-by-step like Morrowind Strongholds or destroying a location and replacing it by ruins. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would love something like that, actually. I do think the Long Road, is that what it's called? It's the Lone Road or the Long Road? I can't think of the mod name. But yeah, it is kind of cool that there's like a buildable shack. I don't know if you guys saw that. It looks pretty good. It's because the mod author did implement some kind of workbench function. It's kind of functioning like a workbench. Which is kind of similar to how, if you guys have played the survival games, like Conan Exiles, Windrose, Valheim, those type of games, they tend to have that kind of system. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty unique, actually. I know a lot of people were looking for another sort of like survival system mod, so it's a cool release. And I haven't actually covered it on the channel. Oh, I'm lagging real bad. One sec, guys. Let's let this calm down and load up. How is the Long Road mod? I've been thinking about downloading it. I actually have not played around with it too much myself. It came out right around when I was doing the mod showcase video recently. And yeah, I just didn't have the time to like properly look at it before I finished that video. Let me actually save here under like a test save. I probably should not be using my character for the actual playthrough. How's the weather? Let's test them. Rain's bad luck for travelers. Turn the road to mud. Nice. I do like how they're actually reacting to the world like this. There's some reactivity. A quest to build the house would be much better than simply buying a kit. Yeah, I think so too. Valek isn't far if you need supplies or a roof. Let's test them on that. We're stress testing the mod here. All right. He's well informed. Do you have anything for sale? Let's see. He's got some spider. Oh, it's cool. Okay, I wasn't expecting some ingredients like this. This is nice. I always like mods that give you some other options to either get ingredients or either like forage for them or have some kind of like activity to do it. Some variety rather than just farming the enemy is really, really fun. Give some more role-playing options for sure. Gotta go. Have a good one, Shpan. Thanks for the stream, bye everyone. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Cliffworms. Take care. See you next time. Daggerfall Settlements mod when? Yeah. Cold Zero. I would be down. I'm glad you made your video on Daggerfall modding recently. The mods that have been showing up lately have been crazy. Animated Water was a big surprise to me personally. Yeah, absolutely, Linebeck. Animated Water was crazy. Iliac Puddle No More was also crazy. Yeah, absolutely insane this year. I almost wanted to make that video even bigger, but many of the mods I have showcased already. I didn't just want to like recopy my content or anything like that, so I stuck to like the very recent mods that I didn't actually showcase yet, except for Dragon Rider. I think I showed Dragon Rider before that. But that video was like a real fast, like snap reaction. It was kind of rough, honestly. Folks here are decent enough. It's the things they won't talk about that worry me. Tell me about yourself. I hunt relics, old coins, old bones, old doors. Mostly I find trouble. Man, this is really cool. I like how these characters actually have like written personalities like this. I was actually expecting, to be honest, I was just expecting the default talk options, if you guys know. I was expecting just like the normal talk UI to show up. I wasn't expecting like a custom one from the mod. See what this guy's up to. Folks here are decent enough. It's the things they won't talk about that worry me. Let's see if we can get this guy to turn into anything crazy. I heard wings in the dark tonight, big ones. Beat, 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 then nothing. Maybe some vampires are about. A night like this years ago, a whole village's candles blew out at once, every hearth. They say the fire went elsewhere. I don't know where elsewhere is. Alright, I think this guy's not an encounter. Looks like we also have a bandit camp. No, that looks like a building actually in the distance there. Anyone who has long road, does it conflict with climates and calories? Do I have to choose one or the other? And which one's better? I would imagine that they have some conflicts, being that they have their own individual hunger systems and thirst systems. I would imagine that they probably don't work the best together. Healer by training. I've mended more broken men than I can count. They all thank me and walk away. Oh, wait a second. Could this be a trainer, potentially? Farmer's son from the lowlands. The land back home is too small for the 3 brothers, so I walk. Any news? There's a lich in a tome up north, they say. Don't worry too much. He never leaves the tome. Nice. Where are you headed? I'm making for Penford. Should be there in a few days. I thought maybe she was going to be a healer trainer or like a medical trainer because of her comment there. I'm kind of curious to see how the trainer stuff works. We'll keep searching for some of them. I'm not sure whether any quests in Daggerfall are triggered by random encounters. If there are, could using this mod cause them to miss them? Oh, that's interesting, Eno. I'm not sure. Actually, Eno, there is... in the Warm Ashes mod, you can get random encounters, and it'll spawn a quest giver, actually. It happens pretty rarely, but it does happen sometimes with Warm Ashes. Whether or not that works that way in vanilla, I'm not sure, honestly. Long Road won't hook in with CNC systems as far as I know, unfortunately. It also changes the pop text from yellow to text box text at the bottom of the screen, which I find a bit annoying. Yeah, I noticed that too, Techno. I was playing around for just like 10 minutes with it, and that's one of the first things I noticed. The way it works, NPCs have a chance of spawning as encounter NPCs. They either are or are not. You will know on first click them. Oh, okay, gotcha. Also, I have it not set up that they don't repeat things like their career. A small fix, though. Yeah, that's no big deal. I actually want to test that. We're going to change the settings a little bit and increase the chance for a... what are they called? Let's see here. Stop and face distance. Oh, yeah. Encounter chance percent. Let's go to like 70 real quick and we'll see how that feels. Let me save again here. Let's put another test save here so I don't get this confused with my actual playthrough. Simply, I'm currently doing that in Fallout London. I was thinking you might inherit or get a ruined farmhouse and start from that, then build a tavern, gardens, invite blacksmith. Yeah, that would be cool. It does kind of remind me of the survival genre for sure. Yeah, it might be darker than normal here. Let's actually set the weather. We'll change the weather actually real quick. Get rid of the rain here. Yeah, the stars make it a little bit nicer, easier to see for us. Because it might show up a little bit darker than I intend for it to be on stream. But I did change some settings recently, so my nights are a little bit darker. Daggerfall is turning into Dwarf Fortress. Yo, what's up, C? Yeah, it's been absolutely insane. Such an exciting time. Like, anyone getting into Daggerfall Unity recently, this is the perfect time for it. All right, let's wait a little bit for some more to show up here. This area is really laggy for me right now. I think it's just the mountains, maybe? All right, we got some wandering travelers here. This is so cool, man. This mod is so cool. I was able to give it a try last night. This year has been so amazing. What's up, EquestrianKatz? Yeah, this is absolutely insane. We've already had some pretty cool little encounters. We're trying to force some more to happen here. I pumped up the unique encounter thing. Where are you headed? Making for Belek. Should be there in a few days. Tell me of yourself. Thief once. Hey, just like me. I gave it up the day I stole from a wizard. He let me go. He also kept my name. Whoa, that's kind of it's kind of crazy. He kept my name. Long road, isn't it? My boots have seen better days, but the inn at the next town is worth the walk. This is so cool. I think the lag is clearing up a little bit too. Also good to see you, Katz. Welcome to the stream. I think that's your first message today. Oh, we got a huge group right here. Let's see if we got any unique ones here. Long road, isn't it? Okay, let's see. So when that initial text pops up, is that considered like a unique encounter, I wonder? And I also wonder if the unique encounters are, like if a group spawns together, does each individual NPC have a chance to do it, or is it kind of like built into the group? A living soul at last. I've waited 100 years to feel warm hands. Let's go. Oh man, that's a lich. Wait a second. Yeah, just a regular lich, okay. We're gonna have to whip out the explosive shot for this. Oh man, so cool. We had a lich hiding among us. Are you using climbing calories? No, not at the moment. I did have it on a little while ago, just to showcase it in that one like beginner video I made. But yeah, I usually don't use climbing calories personally. There are some systems of it that I would love to have. I would love to have like a permanent hunger, a permanent thirst, but there's a lot of different systems added to climbing calories, and I don't love them all personally. So for me, without any way to customize the mod at the moment, yeah, I don't really use it for my playthroughs. However, I still think the mod's awesome. And I definitely recommend it to people that are interested in survival mechanics, of course. But yeah, I don't really use it for my playthroughs. So anytime the text shows up before speaking to them, that is a random encounter. Gotcha. Each NPC is treated as new, not grouped. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Damn, what's that arrow mod? That arrow mod is called... I'll type in the chat for you. Arrow Variety. I think that's what it's called. Let me actually double check that. It's been a little while since I... Yeah, Arrow Variety is what it's called. This is an awesome one. By Excoriated. I've had this for a very long time. It does require... It requires Tome of Battle. So, which I like that mod anyway, personally, so it's cool for me. But yeah, this one adds a bunch of different... It's not just the explosive arrow. You got broadheads, you got bodkins, you got poison arrows. And what's cool about some of these is, like, if I use the poison arrow, it's not just like a single hit on someone. This one actually disperses a cloud. So they have different effects. They're not all just single target. Some of them have like AoE effects. Yeah, it's a really good variety amongst them. I actually don't, off the top of my head, remember what Broadhead and Bodkin do. I think Bodkin increases your chance to hit, and Broadhead maybe does more damage. I forgot. But yeah, it's an amazing mod. I don't play Archer characters often, so yeah. definitely gonna add extra mods for faster, harder combat, but that's great to hear. I don't mind spending time for custom modding, but not just to pick up one overhaul. Yeah. Hey, Shpan, so cool to check out your stream once again. Yeah, thanks, Katz. Yeah, I've been streaming so much. I hope you guys don't mind that I haven't really been publishing as many videos recently, but all the live streams have been kind of like a cool way for me to do mod showcases. I can get like so many more done, just because, you know, we could check it out together live. I don't have to edit, you know, and it's cool because when I spend this much time checking out one individual mod, we sometimes discover things I wouldn't normally find, you know. If I play like an hour to test out a mod and then make a video, I don't always get to see everything. But if I stream for like 3 hours, we sometimes run into some interesting stuff. Hello there, traveler. Sit with me a moment. I've learned a thing or two worth sharing. The scholar shows you a thing or two. Spriggan improved. Yo, I was just saying. At the beginning of the stream, I was just saying, like, it would be really cool if these trainers could give you the option to learn skills that are not trained to you at guilds. So that's crazy. It actually is. I wasn't expecting that. What I thought Linebeck did, what I would have guessed, would be that he brought up the training interface kind of similarly to a faction. But no, that just gave me free, costed nothing, increase to my Spriggan, which is kind of funny. I have the language skills overhaul mod, so I don't actually have Spriggan. I have Sylvan Tongue. But yeah, it's really sick. Is there a flare arrow or something? I don't know if there's a flare arrow. I don't think so, actually. That is a good idea, though, Blooming. Like the streams, want to chat with you and everyone? Yeah, me too. I've been loving it, honestly. And also, if you have questions, they can be answered. Yeah, for sure. I might have some in a little bit, actually, after we test some more. So for you to try out Devilspire Falls, definitely will be doing my best to catch that one. I'm currently doing a skeleton playthrough and didn't realize how hard it is to be a lone skelly. That's sick. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to go in, like, mostly blind. I really don't know that much about it, so I'm excited. Finally, I'm able to catch your stream. Love from Indonesia. Whoa, what's up? How do I say your name? Keg? Can I just say Keg? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to catch it. What time is it in Indonesia now? I've been trying to find good time slots for everyone, but yeah, I'm doing like 12 p.m. I tried 3 p.m. I tried 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. maybe that other day too. But yeah, shout outs to Indonesia. I love hearing from all my viewers from everywhere like this. It's really humbling and cool. Oh man, what status effect did I just get on the bottom left there? I don't even know what that is. If we ever get a mod that works light and shadow into stealth checks, Alvarado getting a water arrow to... Oh yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really sick in dungeons, because dungeons are filled with tortures and stuff. What's the max number of NPCs traveling together? Are there caravans? I think it's 12. We could check the mod settings. Also, by the way, I think you guys can hear the lawnmowers outside my window. My bad if you can. We'll check out the mod settings actually real quick. I think it's 12, yeah. So the maximum group size is 12 here. We can do a minimum of 2. But, you know, all these things, which I love to see always, is very customizable. And customizability options like this are, you know, one of the things I appreciate most in a lot of mods when they have these. Because being able to actually build it to function the way that you personally want for your personal playthrough, whatever you're trying to do, whatever strange, obscure role-playing concept you have. Yeah, I always love that. I always really appreciate when mod authors do that. It's midnight here? Oh, nice. I guess it's not too bad then, on a Friday anyway. Also, a rope arrow? That would be so cool. We already have the grappling hook. It could kind of function similarly to that, right? That would be nice. I'm hoping to learn about Devilspire Falls through you learning it. It looks pretty intimidating from all the YouTube reviews and Let's Plays. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of... Oh, there's another game that's kind of similar to this. Oh, I can't think of the name now, but I'm also going to pick this game up at some point. It starts with a K, I think. Kenshi? Kenshi, yeah. It reminds me of Kenshi. Like a lot of depth, really crazy sandbox world where you kind of just do your own thing. You need to die a lot to learn how the game functions. So I'm kind of excited to get into that as well. I guess Daggerfall is also similar to that, right? The first time playing Daggerfall is always very intimidating. We got another Will-O-Wisp here, my mortal enemy. I mean, you could build a settlement in a London Bridge or even Wimbledon tennis courts. It may still lag. You may be able to notice. I thought it would not be bad because you are supposed to spawn them not too often. Yeah, that makes sense, Lineback. And honestly, the lag, I don't even know if it's anything to do with your mod because I lag a lot in general in like mountainous areas. No lawnmower sound actually. Mic sounds great. Oh, nice. That's perfect, Pumpy. Yeah, they're pretty loud for me, but nice that doesn't come up on the stream. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom and then also fill up my water here. And then I'll catch up on chats. Let me put a little overlay for you guys real quick. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let me catch up on chat here and put this overlay down. All right, what'd I miss? I love Kenshi, such a difficult game. Yeah, I want to try that a lot too. I'm actually a little bit more excited about Kenshi than I am about Devilspire Falls at the moment, but that's not like an informed or educated opinion. That's just like based off the vibes. Kenshi kind of reminds me of like if you took Dungeons and Dragons Dark Sun, but created a sandbox RPG with insane systems. Yeah, it's exciting. It's kind of a good fit for my personal tastes. I played Kenshi for 2 lifetimes. Can't wait for the sequel. That's sick. Yeah, that's gonna be a cool one. That one we're definitely gonna have to do on stream as well. Kenshi's incredible, similar aimless vibe where you choose your adventure. Definitely not as intimidating as it looks. That's good. Yeah, I don't mind dying a few times and learning. That's all good with me. It's a lot like Morrowind with the player power curve. Kenshi with its generated world, Oblivion with its silly NPCs, and Daggerfall with its freedom. There's also a crafting system that is decent, interesting. Yeah, I know so little about the game. I know so little both about Kenshi and Devilspire Falls, other than what some of you guys have told me in the chat. I see it as a medieval adventure sim. Gotcha. YouTube Let's Players make Kenshi seem more complicated than it is, but it's pretty simple to get into its flow. It's very easy to learn as you go. I don't think you need to watch a beginner's guide. Oh, that's cool. That's good, yeah. Yeah, I tend to like to go in blind anyway. And then if I die and stuff, I'll start looking at some guides, of course. Spells and enchantments are wild. I found a spell in my current playthrough that heals me for like 5%, gives me magic. 30 kilograms back for extra. That's sick. It almost reminds me a little bit of another game too. Is it called like Outward? I don't know if you guys played that one as well. I didn't play it, but I've just seen it. If you're a murder hobo-like character or vampire/werewolf, I wonder if the wandering NPCs can be targeted for loot / blood, etc. Oh, Techno, I think Vox mentioned that he wanted to make them feedable for the vampire, for his vampire overhaul, which would be kind of cool. I don't know. I think he might be working on that. Kenshi reminds me of old KOTOR games. Yo, what's up, Sandstorm? Oh, I played the original Knights of the Old Republic. I didn't play the second one. I think the second one was Obsidian, right? And the first one was BioWare. That's kind of cool. So it's kind of CRPG-ish, huh? Oh, even, I guess the vibe you're saying. Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying now. Like the actual aesthetic even, too. The landscape. Agreed, Kenshi has Dark Sun vibes for sure. Yeah, that's how it feels to me. And I'm a huge Dark Sun fan. I don't know if I've ever told you guys that on the channel. I played the Shattered Lands CRPG. That was kind of like my introduction to Dark Sun. I thought it was so cool. I actually love the intro to Dark Sun Shattered Lands. Like the first location where you're trying to survive the gladiator slave pens. There's a lot of different like options to escape that you can do. I died here 3 winters ago, yet I still cannot find my way home. Oh man, that's sick. This is so cool. Something oh, the Will-O-Wisp is going to help me. Let's go, Will-O-Wisp. She's got to lay her to rest. More so in the combat? Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Oh, I missed my explosive shot. I think we got him. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Leon? It's got a similar camera and third-person combat feel. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. That's pretty cool then. I actually thought KOTOR's combat was pretty nice. Almost like early Dragon Age Origins vibe. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so now we've seen the ghost option. Oh, I don't know if you're still here, Linebeck. I was curious. When it comes to what the NPCs sell, do they all pull from the same... Oh, that's cool too. This is a Wraith this time? Yeah, these are harder. Oh, this one disappeared. Do they all pull from the same loot table? And if they do, is it like a general goods or general store loot table, or is it like its own unique loot table that you curated? Because I was wondering if maybe some of the NPCs have different loot tables. Like maybe one of them pulls from like general store goods, one of them pulls from like a pawn shop goods, one of them might pull from alchemist. I think it's cool that they don't have so many items, though. At least most of them. I like how it's like, sometimes they just have 1 or 2. I think that's a good touch. Has like a sense of realism and groundedness to it. Oh no, I'm lagging. I think now actually let's actually change the settings real quick here now. And let's reduce the spawn rate here by a little bit, just so they're not constantly spawning around us. I'll try to fool around with the settings and see what I like for my own playthrough. The loot tables are climate-based and also custom. Gotcha, that's cool. Oh, they're climate-based. That's interesting. I love how dark it is. So spooky to not see people coming. And if wandering NPCs emerge from the shadows, it could freak you out at first. Yeah, for sure. What I also like about it is that there's some decision-making when you run into them, because it's not all good or all bad. And so if you're doing like a permadeath playthrough, and depending on your condition and the context of your playthrough, you might see an NPC and be like, I actually want to avoid this guy, right? Or it might be like, I definitely want to approach this guy because I need some, help or something. Yo, Cold Zero, thank you, man. Shpan, you should read the Tales of Dying Earth by Jack Vance. It's Dark Sun, but even crazier. Highly recommended. Oh, that sounds sick. Yeah, I know Dark Sun itself also has some novels, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if they're good or not, though. But yeah, that's awesome. Vance, what's it called? Tales of Dying Earth by Jack Vance. I'll make a note of that. Man, that's really generous of you. Thank you, Cold Zero. I feel like you're always supporting the stream so much. Thank you.
I do love the dark sun setting though. It's really, really unique. For you guys that haven't spent any time in it, it's really unlike any other Dungeons and Dragons setting, campaign setting. All right, that's also the goal is now achieved, so I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. And actually, we got some new people in the chat. Let me do a poll again real quick. It's not all the same people, so I'm going to start a poll for tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow stream time. We'll do, this is all Eastern time. I'll write that in actually. Because it's good for me to know, and I could even potentially do a nighttime stream if that's better for you guys. Let me start this poll here. A bit of advice with Devilspire Falls is that there are different active skills that you learn as you level up base skills. It doesn't really tell you, but there's some cool tech you can do with melee. Oh, that's interesting. So it's kind of like there's hidden skills that you can... There are different active skills, okay, that you can learn as you level up base skills. Oh, that is interesting, yeah. There's another CRPG I played that had a similar system to that. Can't think of it off the top of my head, though. It's got a similar camera and third-person combat feel. Yeah, that's cool. I liked KOTOR, so that'll be good for me. The loot tables are climate-based. Yeah, more weapons at night and that sort of thing. Gotcha, Linebeck. Okay, that's cool. Love how dark it is, so spooky. Yeah, I think it'll be very cool in a permadeath playthrough. I think that's what I was saying before. About how, you know, when you run into one of these NPCs, you know there's a chance. And because also you can set it to however difficult, like if you want more of these where is it, like encounter chances, this could be like high risk high reward if you pump this up. And if you're like traveling alone and depending on the context of your playthrough, you'll like, I'm going to avoid this NPC or I gotta interact with this NPC and hope for something good. It's kind of a cool dynamic. There's a bit of risk reward assessment there, especially when you understand the encounters better, like you understand the full pool of encounters. I'm one of them surrendering. Oh man, I don't even I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I like that dynamic. I kind of want to find, maybe I'll go back to pumping up the encounter a little bit higher. I want to find like another skill trainer. I'm kind of curious if it all functions like a free skill up or if there's someone you could actually pay to train multiple times or something. Well, we'll keep the encounter rate up, but let me bring the interval up a little bit higher, a little bit lower here actually. And then I'll wait for them to spawn to us. Also, Linebeck, does do the regions matter too much when it comes to the spawn tables or the type of encounters? All right, let me look at the poll here. All right, oh, so you guys definitely prefer 12 p.m. Eastern still. Okay, this is good to know. So basically, I should always just do 12 p.m., huh? Maybe like one time I'll try a nighttime stream just in case there's some other people that are not even here to vote, you know? Like, since I am streaming at 12 now, a lot of you guys, this would be the best time for it. Makes sense. They said the road north is rough this season. Plenty of mud and deep ditches. Mind your step. They say if you wander into these parts on the last day of Evening Star, a danger will show up. I've never been brave enough to check. No, the regions don't affect the monsters encounters? Okay, gotcha. Just the text the NPCs say in the loot tables. Oh, nice. The loot tables do change. Let's head over to like a desert region real quick in a little bit. It's not my imagination. The giggling is real. Imps all around us. Run. Oh, man. Yo, this is sick. We got an actual ambush here. Oh, man. Look how many there are, too. Oh, we got to dodge fireballs here. Oh, I killed 2 with one shot there. That was sick. Oh, this is so satisfying right now. Oh, I've got none left. Oh, man. All right, a little poison. Oh, man, the poison is dropping them. That's so sick. Man, this is so satisfying right now. Oh, I think I actually hit that shot there, too. Do we have any other arrows here? Yeah, we got some of the bodkin. Let's use this. Let's see what this looks like. I don't think this has, like, a unique animation, really, but, I have no arrows. Oh, man. This guy's probably not going to come down. That was a cool one, though. I like that a lot. We all got flanked by a group of imps out here. Awesome. Nice. That's a cool one. We haven't seen something like that yet. All right, I think I'll end the poll here then. Let me, real quick. Yeah, okay, let's end this poll here. All right, so 12 p.m. tomorrow as well, then. I think I have my Discord channel pinned. I don't know if you guys can see the pin or not. Oh, yeah, I got some of you guys in the Discord now. That's cool. All you guys saying first and second. Hey, this is sick. Yeah, I'm so new to Discord stuff, guys, so it might be a little bit rough at first. I'll try to get better at it and, yeah, figure it all out as I go here. All right, let me catch up on chat again. Yeah, the regions don't affect the encounter. It's just a text. Gotcha. I only read an original language. Yes, it's not a problem now. It's just that I slowed down with my reading because of other life priorities. Yeah, me too, Cold Zero, actually. I just recently read, I think I mentioned it a couple streams ago, I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knights. That was like the last thing I read, though, now. And I kind of do want to get into reading more fantasy, though. Because when I'm in the right mood, reading is just such a comfy, awesome hobby. But yeah, it's so much easier to just like turn my brain off and play a game. But sometimes it's nice. When I'm in the right mood, it's really nice. And a Dark Sun novel might be just what I need. Tales of Dying Earth. The character uses spaceships to go to other planets to study them, like Indiana Jones, the archaeologist, but a lot of those planets are less developed with space tech, so it feels so fantasy. That's pretty cool sounding. Shpan, you read Game of Thrones? I've not, actually. I did watch the show, though. I liked the show a lot. At least the first few seasons I liked a lot. What I really loved about Game of Thrones was some of these acting performances. Charles Dance as Tywin Lannister is like one of the sickest performances ever. And the dialogue's really good. I like how some scenes are just focused on character interactions like that. Such a satisfying show, honestly. Really, it's just so hard to think of like anything else quite like it. Season 1, 4, and 5 are just amazing. Yeah, Tywin is honestly so cool. He's absolutely insane. Charles Dance's performance for that character is just incredible. But there are a lot of good performances, honestly. Tyrion's also really good, of course. I'm actually reading Herman Hesse right now because I haven't earlier. Interesting. I don't think I'm familiar with that guy either. It's crazy long, but Wheel of Time, the book's not the show, is my favorite fantasy series. I feel like I've heard of it before. Oh, Techno, speaking of Wheel of Time, have you played the PC game? That's the only thing I know about Wheel of Time, because the PC game is like a fantasy first-person shooter. It's pretty old now, but it's actually sick. I think I had it on GOG. I don't think I beat it, though. I definitely didn't beat it, but I was somewhere in the middle of a playthrough. I thought it was really cool. Gotta run, be back soon. All good, Cold Zero. I might still be streaming, probably. I kind of want to go a little longer, but we'll see. Just finished the first book. Shows faithful to the book. Tyrion is even better character in the book from what I hear, though I never watched the show. Oh, really? Yeah. You should read it? Yeah, I really should. There's got a bunch of like fantasy novels I want to get into. I want to reread The Lord of the Rings as well. You're the first soul I've met today. Good to know I'm not walking a ghost road. Oh, okay. That sounded like kind of foreboding, that line. But he was just saying, like, you're the first guy I've seen. Orc war bands have been raiding the lowlands. They don't take prisoners, just goods. Oof. Tell me of yourself. I raised horses for the garrisons. That's life gone, but I still ride from time to time. Do you have a horse to sell me then? He has a religious item. This is kind of cool. I wonder... Oh, I have to test this. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Can I pickpocket these guys? I don't think I can. Okay. That would be kind of interesting for the thief playthrough. Hello, yo, what's up, Biffinger? In the Twitch chat. How's it going? Yeah, we spent some time now checking out this new Wandering NPCs mod. It's awesome stuff. I really, I pumped up the chance for the encounter stuff, so that's why we're seeing so many, like, encounters like this. Okay, yo, yeah, I'm doing well as well. No complaints. Oh yeah, Storyvine is planning on making the NPCs for my mod feedable. I'm just cleaning up the code ready for him to write a patch. Yeah, that's sick, Linebacker. I saw his comment about that. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw him say that. That's really cool. Wheel Time is kind of like Lord of the Rings, but a little edgier. At least the first book. Can't speak for it after that. Be prepared, though. The book gets very weird in parts. Anyone who reads it knows. The show thankfully sterilizes some of those parts. Interesting, yeah. I would like a nice, meaty, like, fantasy series to get into, though. It would be nice to have something like that. I probably would make, like, a list and then narrow down what seems the most interesting to me, and then try that one. I tried the Wheel of Time ages ago. It's a cool little microcosm of the setting, though covers maybe, like, 1/100th of the setting as a whole. Yeah. Yeah, I could imagine with how massive the scope is on that book series that it'd probably be pretty hard for the game to really capture that. What's the mod like so far? It's really cool. It basically spawns in these wandering NPCs, and it's a lot different from Warm Ashes if you're familiar with that. This is not just like a encounter that popped up. This is actually wandering NPCs that have their own paths. They could be traveling to a city or a town or something else, and they have their own unique interaction thing here, where you could talk to them, get random stories. They'll also let you know about the nearest town and dungeons. You can sell stuff, buy stuff, and there's a bunch of random encounters that are possible as well, which is really cool. So you could get like an ambush of imps, or one of them might secretly be an ancient lich in disguise. So it's really sick, actually. Something we, really needed in Daggerfall for a while now. It's another thing the whole community can check off now. Dark morals in a book is good when it's needed, but something is unnecessary shock value. Gotcha. So be prepared for that. Yeah, I'm usually okay with that as long as it's not like too much of a constant focus where it's like bringing down the main story too much. But that kind of stuff sometimes doesn't really bother me, honestly. I can't even hit this guy. That's hilarious. Actually, let's open up a shop and get some more arrows. We got some ice arrows, explosive. Something kind of funny about the arrow variety mod, you actually need a normal arrow to cast the special arrows. So you can't cast the special arrows alone, which is kind of interesting. Legend of the Seeker. Now that's a good cable fantasy. I don't think I've ever heard of Legend of the Seeker. Do you know which, what's it called? Like which studio it's on? Or I guess which channel? Like HBO or, what are those called again? I can't even think of the name of those. Yo, what's up, Eric? My favorite enemy is Lizardman. Nice, yeah. Lizardmans are kind of classic. I feel like maybe because of the Argonians, we because I know in Arena for Elder Scrolls there was a bunch of like normal Lizardmen, but because Argonians are kind of a thing, I guess they maybe didn't want to include Lizardmen with Argonians. I feel like we don't see Lizardmen. Maybe I'm wrong about that in too many of the other Elder Scrolls stuff. Any news? There's a new tavern going up in the next region over. Could use one, honestly. Hope you're doing well, Eric. Yeah, we've already checked out a lot of this mod here. And it's really sick. I think you guys would love this. It really is its own thing. It's really hard to compare it to any other mod at the moment. The closest would be, of course, like Warm Ashes, but it's not the same at all. The second Apocalypse / Prince of Nothing series is very good if you're into philosophy. Legend of the Seeker is based on the Sword of Truth book series. I don't know what that is either. Huh. Man, there's probably so many good series that I just haven't paid attention to over the years. I don't even think I've watched anything else besides like Game of Thrones, at least recently, in a very long time. I'm trying to think if there was any others. Definitely not squeamish either. I watched Salo recently and loved it, even though it's greatly uncomfortable, but there's a serious point being made with the violence and grossness, unlike some of Game of Thrones. Yeah, the Game of Thrones show for sure has some of it just for the sake of having it. Especially all the there's some scenes there that are just kind of there for the visual spectacle, I guess you could say. Though I know George R. R. Martin's like a huge fan of history, right? So he kind of pulls from a lot of historical stuff, I think. Legend of the Seeker is on Netflix and Amazon, apparently. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of this. Not enough good fantasy movies / TV shows. Way more good sci-fi stuff. Yeah, what's some cool sci-fi stuff I could watch recently? I know people are liking The Expanse, I think it's called. And the reason I could be interested in The Expanse, actually, personally, is just because... what's it called? Is Owlcat's new game. I'm a big fan of Owlcat, the developers, and they're making an Expanse CRPG. And I think it's very inspired by Mass Effect, probably. So that could maybe get me interested in The Expanse. I don't know, though. Even the Elder Scrolls Wiki says Lizardman is only an arena, so maybe he's added from my diverse character mod. Yeah, it could be Pumpy. I think it is kind of weird. They just dropped off the Lizardman enemy for some reason. I would guess it is something to do with the Argonians. But, yeah, it also, it could be Daggerfall enemy expansion mod, since it pulls a lot of arena enemies. So I think it could be that, actually. That would be my guess. He is in the enemy expansion mod? Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like almost every arena enemy shows up there. Probably not all of them, but a decent amount. Yeah, Game of Thrones is very inspired by the War of the Roses in English history, to the point where it's almost 1-to-1, but he still makes it his own. That's kind of sick, yeah. Yeah, generally so much of God is from real history, similar to Tolkien, yeah. Game of Thrones didn't really start out trying to tell a message. It was Martin's attempt at deconstructing Lord of the Rings by representing history. There was like some interview that George R. R. Martin was talking about with about Tolkien's work. I know he loves Lord of the Rings. I think he said he reads it like every year or something. But there's some things he disagrees with that Tolkien wrote, like Gandalf coming back. I think he didn't like that. Expanse is hard sci-fi. I'm a fantasy dweeb. My favorite sci-fi TV show is Farscape. I don't think I've heard of that one either. Yeah, man, there's so many good shows. I really should try to find the time to just at least try them. You know, like if I just watch like episode 1 or 2, I could at least get a taste for if I want to continue watching like more of it. And it's not that much time investment. I really should try to make a list and do that one night. It'd be fun. Order some pizza or something and just try out like 2 or 3 different shows. The funny thing is that he's written himself into a message accidentally with Jon Snow. Oh, yeah? How so? Like with the revival thing or the... what was the... Azora High? Is that what it's called? Something like that? All right, let me try to get some more encounters here. Oh, the infamous Aragorn's tax policy thing? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Hello there, travelers. Stay with me a moment. I've learned a thing or two worth sharing. All right, this will be cool. Let's see what we get here. The scholar shows you a thing or two. Medical improve. Nice. So this is how this works. This is just a completely new way of getting a skill up in this game. Oh, I actually have medical as a minor. Oh, I should have taken a look. I should have taken like a screenshot and checked. But yeah, that's very cool. You know, if you go to a guild and get your skill up, then there's always a price, right? And the price goes up depending on your skill and how much you're doing it. But yeah, these are just completely free, slight skill upgrades that you can find. Someone shares their knowledge with you. I like that a lot. Like a traveling trainer. Fine weather for walking if the rain holds off. Better than last month when we had nothing but storms. It's not my imagination. The giggling is real. Imps all around us run. Nice, we got the imps again. Oh man, they're shooting fireballs left and right. I actually love having like a bunch of enemies that shoot projectiles. It's a lot of fun to dodge in this game. We don't have any exploding arrows, so I think we'll just run off from these guys. Lizardmen vs. Argonians could be a Legend of Zelda situation where the River Zoras are the feral and aggressive merfolk versus other Zoras are civilized and peaceful. Yeah, something like that could easily make sense, I think. I wonder why they completely dropped the Lizardmen, though. Because I think that is a fine way to do it. I recently read there is no Anti-Mimics Division Good Sci-Fi SCP style book. What's a SCP style book? Ending didn't really live up to the beginning for me, but still enjoyed it. Interesting. Yeah, I would know even less about like sci-fi books at the moment. I really know so little about like good sci-fi novels and stuff. Though I like sci-fi as well. I like fantasy more, but sometimes when I get into like a sci-fi mood, it's I could really be into it for a bit. I'm kind of like always just perpetually into fantasy, and I can always enjoy fantasy, but sci-fi is like a mood thing for me. Imagine what a nightmare it would be if you had to rank up skills in Daggerfall like in Might and Magic, such a huge map. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be awful. Could you imagine? Speaking of Might and Magic, I might play some of 7 on stream someday as like a little extra mode for fun. All right, let's wait for a few more to spawn here. We'll get a couple more interactions, then we'll go to a different region. Or actually, let's just go to a different region now. Let's go to the desert and see what kind of goods they sell and all that kind of stuff. Shpan, my hero, I'll join your Discord server. Yo, what's up, Zabi? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the Discord is pretty, it's pretty bare bones right now, honestly. Just a place for us all to hang out, and you can get some updates on what I'm doing, I guess. But I'll try to work on it for sure, though, over time. It's super bare bones right now, though. All right, so I think there'll be some unique stuff. Let's do daytime first in the desert. And actually, let's whip out the camel for this. Gotta always go with the camel for the desert regions. All right, we got the camel. Let's do this. We got a white camel? This looks cool. I don't think I've seen this one before. George R. R. Martin must have given David and Dan some sort of inkling on the ending he intended. It's just interesting to think how he would have portrayed it. Yeah, I know he's like years and years behind, right? I don't even know how long it's been since his last book. How do you look for quest items / people inside dungeons? What's up, generic Grassblade? So inside of dungeons, if you have like a quest item, you have to kind of just search the dungeon. There's a couple different spawn points in a dungeon that can have quest marker, or it's like it's set up as a quest marker. That's where quests might spawn. So if you're really, really familiar with dungeon layouts, you can maybe know a little bit, but otherwise you just got to keep searching. You got to keep searching all the locations. Although I'm going to write this in the chat for you, Grassblade, if you really don't want to keep searching, you can type this into the console command, and that'll teleport you to the quest item if you have one. So that's an option if you are getting frustrated or something, or if you think something might be bugged or something. SCP is Secure, Contain, Protect, like a sci-fi government sort of organization that captures and deals with monsters / anomalies. It was a short story sort of thing people all contribute to online. I've never heard of this. That sounds sick. Yo, the animation on that cam looks sick. Yeah, it's really good. A lot of people don't know that the free reign mod actually has a camel option. So go to the third page here. You just swap from horse to camel, and there's a couple different variants to choose from. These variants also are for the horse if you want some variants on your horse. But yeah, this one's really cool. I've not seen this one before. I don't think I ever used this. Nice, you got the Discord up. Yo, what's up, Star Siege? Yeah, finally. It's really bare bones. There's not that much to it right now. It's just a little place to get updates, I guess. Basically, what George R. R. Martin was trying to say is that fantasy in general, including Lord of the Rings, makes the unfounded assumption that a good man will automatically make a good king, and everything will work out. But it came off more like he's saying a writer needs to make detours to fill out pointless factoids about the setting's government. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They got two different opinions on that stuff for sure. I think George R. R. Martin, though, has a lot of respect for the Tolkien's work, but it's just like, I remember specifically him not liking the Gandalf resurrection. I think the reason he's struggling with finishing it precisely because Game of Thrones started out as an anti-Lord of the Rings, but ultimately he realized he needed to concede to Tolkien's wisdom, so he's kind of drifting. You think so? That would be kind of interesting. Is that Diablo? Diablo from the Diablo games? What's up, DC? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's see what she has to say. What kind of stuff does she have for sale? Yeah, I see a different ingredient here already, so that's kind of cool. We'll also check out at night to see if there's any kind of unique encounters in the desert. Definitely lagging behind on the book, and you probably won't see a complete end to the series, but I think people rush him too much. I'm a writer. It feels like torture just fart out words on paper. Yeah, I'm sure it's not easy. Yeah. I know people are just like, obviously they want the series to end. He is getting older, and he is taking a long time to do them, but at the end of the day, it's his work, it's his life's work, it's his art. You kind of just can't, you can't force it anyway, you know? At the end of the day, I feel like. Oh, updated Daggerfall. Yeah, this is Daggerfall. Yeah. Yeah, this is, we're looking at some mod here that just released recently that adds some wandering NPCs to the world. It's a really cool addition. This is 100% going in my mod list for the playthroughs. Had to talk with Stephen King and asked him how he writes so fast. It basically says he can't write every day, gives insight into his writing style, makes sense, can't rush greatness. Yeah, for sure. Have you played Here's My Magic 3? Yes, I have, Linebeck. I'm a huge fan of Here's My Magic 3. Although, I will say, even after a few hundred hours of that game, I'm still not very good at it. Like, I feel like I'll never be that good at that game, but I really like that game. Here's My Magic 3 has, like, for me, one of the most perfect art styles. The music's incredible. My favorite faction, Stronghold. I don't know which faction is your main, but my main Stronghold. I love Stronghold. I love the Thunderbirds and the Rocks, Ogre Magi, the Cyclops. But yeah, I play a lot of Here's My Magic 3 still, but not the online stuff. I haven't done PvP, which I do want to get into at some point if I can get better. I just feel like I'm not good enough at the game to really enjoy PvP, though. But just for the PvE stuff, it's awesome. And I know that the Heroes of My Magic Olden Era came out, but I have not gotten that yet. I don't know if you've tried it out yourself. I've heard, like, decent things about it. To me, it's just so hard to beat the Here's My Magic 3 aesthetic. It's just so good. You've a fair face for a stranger on the road. Here, take this. Ooh, I have more coin than I can carry, and a kind road is worth paying for. Yo, that's awesome. He just gave me 170 gold out of the kindness of his heart. Man, these wandering NPCs are kind of nice. Never seen camel riding before? Camel's so cute. Yeah, it's cool. Floppy ears. Yeah. Yeah, I really like it. I was a cool inclusion by the free reign mod. I didn't know about this for so long. Yeah, good thing I'm not a GOT fan. Too many series having to be finished by other authors since the OG passes. Yeah, I forgot which one that happened to, but I've heard this as well. Also, love the imp ambushes. Yeah, for sure. Though seeing how this is Tamriel, it would probably make more sense that some of the travelers would be armed. Yeah, some of them, I think they kind of have to use the townspeople NPCs, because if you notice, none of these are the pre-rendered NPCs. They're all the ones that can actually move. So I think they have to make use of the ones that have, like, the walking animations. I could be wrong about that. But, yeah. You see how they're kind of behaving, how the NPCs do inside cities? I don't know how this would function with, like, proper enemy NPCs, the ones that are flagged as, like, enemy groups. You look pale as milk, traveler. Stop a moment. I'm a healer. Let me help you out a bit. Man, this is so cool. We're seeing all the different interactions here. So this is a heal. This is exactly what I needed yesterday. Subversion can only break expectations, not fulfill them. A setup thrives on surprise, but an ending must deliver meaning, and meaning requires affirming something, not just negating it. That's what I think he's struggling with. That's some interesting insight. Yeah. I don't know the story well enough, from the book's perspective anyway. And I know the show made a mess of the ending, or at least that's how it feels for everyone, right? Yeah, it's hard to say. I really should give the books a read. I know they're quite thick though, right? They're long ones. It's already hard enough for me to find like time to... I know those men, thieves, a lot of them, and they found us run. Oh, that's such a cool one. Man, these are just so cool. There is way more than I expected as well. Can I just add arrows directly with the console command? Probably not, right? Nah, okay. There should be a way for me to do this. Let me just open a weapon shop real quick. This hopefully has arrows. That would be nice. Maybe not, though. It actually doesn't. So we could try a general shop here. It's kind of funny how it's a little difficult to just pop in some arrows for yourself. But this is really cool. We've now seen traveling, what's it called? Traveling trainers. We've got the imp ambush, thief ambush. We've got someone giving us free gold, someone healing us for free. Yeah, we've seen a good amount of variety here. This is really cool. We'll also check out the nighttime in the desert in a little bit, though. Wheel of Time had to be finished by Brandon Sanderson. Berserk is being finished by Miura's friend. Yeah, I heard about the Wheel of Time being finished by Brandon Sanderson. George R. R. Martin, he stated he'll never let anyone else finish his series if he dies. That's crazy. Probably the right call. Frank Herbert's sons have done irreparable damage to Dune with their oversaturation of books. Yeah, I kind of like having the actual main, whatever is the artistic voice of something. I kind of prefer for them to just have it completely, you know? And I think for some of my favorite IPs, I would kind of prefer no one continue it, even if the author failed to finish it, personally. That might be kind of selfish, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I just like I like the author's voice being the author's voice, and I feel like no one can write something for someone else, really. Especially like, you know, a fantasy work. Yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I really don't like when even stuff that is like, even expanded universe for Tolkien, I really don't like when people touch it too much. Like what Amazon's doing with Rings of Power and stuff. I just don't like that kind of attitude towards the works. And I think for novels, it's even more of like an author's voice, you know? Like you almost, I don't know, at least with like a show or a game, there's a lot more of like a team's work that goes into it, and it's dispersed into different like artistic fields, you know, like voice acting and artwork and animation. And then of course there's story writers and storytellers, but it gets kind of diluted from the author's voice, I think, in that way. And so that's like kind of less offensive to me, but I feel like, well, offensive's not the right word, but that's like less appealing to me, or less likely to bother me, I should say. Whereas like an author finishing the work for another author, that just wouldn't interest me at all if I was a fan of that work, I feel like. Like, I wouldn't care what Brandon Sanderson has to say about the work, even if he's a great author. I haven't read his books, but even if it was, I wouldn't really care. I would only care about the actual author's voice on that work, personally. But I can understand the other side as well. Some people just want the work to finish, you know? And if you can find someone that understands the work well, they could definitely do a good job. It's just like my feeling on it, though, personally. I just found, I just seen an NPC stood on top of another in my game. That's new. I think I saw one spawn that way for half a second, but then fell off Lineback. As soon as the show writers couldn't rely on an actual good writer for source material, the show started to suck. Yeah, maybe the show creators were never really good. It was only George R. R. Martin. Yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, I've heard people say that before, for sure. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of the show, never read the book, watched the first episode of season 4, then stopped. Gotcha, yeah. I do have faith that Martin can make good ending. His Knight of Seven Kingdoms shows he understands closure. Interesting. Also, Shpan, when you actually use the mod without testing, perhaps the minimum spawn distance increase so they don't pop in front of you. Yeah, for sure, Linebeck. Yeah, I'll definitely, it's especially noticeable in the desert. Yeah, for sure. We even could mess around with that now. I kind of wanted to mess around with some of the stuff like that real quick anyway. Let's see, the spawn distance minimum. Minimum distance in Unity units, a wanderer can spawn from the player. So we want to increase this a little bit, right? Let's go with like 40-ish or 50-ish maybe. Spawn distance maximum, we could go like 100 or so. Despawn distance, oh, okay, that's cool, cool. That's good to know. In my view, Game of Thrones took on too many subplots. I think Martin is struggling to find some way to make them come to a conclusion that feels cohesive. Yeah, maybe. Hope the human ambushes aren't like 4 times more common than the non-human ones. Yeah. Especially with all these poison-wearing enemies, huh? You can literally make it so you see someone every 10 seconds or 10 hours if you wanted. I love adding loads of settings. Yeah, I love having settings. It's something that it's really appreciated. I know it's not easy to have to... and this is probably, honestly... mod settings like this, it's got to be the least fun part about designing a mod, right? But it's really appreciated because having the ability to actually fine-tune these settings so that we can build our ideal sandbox RPG stuff is just, it's invaluable, you know? There could be very specific role-playing concepts or ideas that someone wants to capture, and having these options make it possible, you know? Someone could be building a world where it's like almost post-apocalyptic in their Daggerfall, and they're using partially their imagination, partially some mods, and they want to spawn them like, you know, very infrequently or something. So, but yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to balance with like the mod author's vision as well. Some people have the opinion like, this is my mod, this is my vision for it, and I want to keep it, and I can respect that too, of course. But I love having a lot of options so I can kind of control and build the Daggerfall world that I want. You look as pale as Milk Traveler. Stop a moment, I'm a healer. Another healer, nice. I think we're seeing more healers out in the Hammerfell area here. Let's see what she's got for sale as well. Looks like she's got nothing. I love that you see Redguard NPCs in Hammerfell area. Very impressive. Yeah, I think there's a mod. I can't even remember now. There's been so many. I feel like there's a mod I have that makes that spawn the way it is. But I could be wrong about that. It didn't help that the writers for Game of Thrones TV show rushed it, merging multiple seasons into one because they were offered money come work on Star Wars. Yeah, I heard about the Star Wars thing, which got axed anyway. Yeah, yeah, that's so unfortunate. Not unfortunate that it got axed. Unfortunate that they decided to merge multiple seasons into one like that. Oh yes, I love doing further spawn distance. I do that for all my random encounters. I love mod settings as well. Yeah, it's so nice to have the option to control these things. I wish I'd make it so whoever uses it can tailor to them. Yeah, it's so appreciated. I really wish Climate and Calories had mod settings. Yeah, I know. That's one of the mods that, like, I hear that a lot from people. That's the one they wish had some good customizability options because one day you'll look just like me. Oh, man, that was sick. And an imp? Where did that imp come from? I don't have any arrows, right? Oh, actually, I do now. Interesting. Now I have none. Okay. That was a cool message for a skeleton to spawn like that. Wandering the desert, an undead skeleton. But yeah, it would be nice for Climate and Calories. For Climate and Calories, if there was options, I would probably get rid of some of the weather effects. Or at least change how they function. They're kind of punishing. And I kind of like being able to like specifically build a certain look that I want for a character. And when the mod is constantly make you like, oh, it's too cold, you have to put on more clothing. It's too hot, you have to take off more clothing. It's raining, you need a hood, you know. It becomes like a lot of micromanaging on my stuff. And I kind of like having like a specific look for my hero or my adventurer. But yeah, I know some people that like survival stuff will love that as well, of course. Let's get back on our camel over here. That's a cool encounter. Yeah, that was really cool, actually. I like that there's some smaller ones like that, and that there's some larger scale ones, you know? That kind of variety is really nice. Can't wait to see people walking around a desert with almost no foliage, getting horrible FPS in Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, man. That'll be interesting. Then all the mod authors will get on it, of course, like they always do, and they'll save Bethesda. I'll, of course, you know, regardless of how I'm going to feel about Elder Scrolls 6, I will be excited for the mod contents. It's impossible for me not to be excited about that. It's kind of crazy how the show falls off a little after Season 5. I guess that's subjective. Right after George R. R. Martin stopped writing, yeah. That does not feel like a coincidence. And the rest of the world lost 2 possibly good things in that situation because of money. Always money. Yeah, cold zero, unfortunately. It is really sad, though, to have the writers, like, kind of stop putting in as much work because of a potential new job they were getting. I don't know if that's, like, speculation or if that's how it really went down, but, yeah, I think if Game of Thrones was able to stick the landing on the ending, it would have been, like, an absolutely legendary, generational show. And in some ways it might still be, but you just hear about it a lot less now because of how the ending was, and that's such a shame. I played a low luck character with climbing calories. It was really tedious with the rotting mechanics. Yeah, I could already see that. That's one of my least favorite things. I agree with the weather stuff too. The camping is amazing. The camping is my favorite part about any of these survival mods, honestly. I like being able to cook, camp, you know, catch raw meat or raw fish or something like that. And just the option to, like, I honestly think an option to build a campfire and, like, a little tent maybe, or maybe 2 tents if you have a companion, that'd be cool too. Even if it has no functional option, like, even if the only option is to click on the fireplace to rest, I would still really enjoy that mod because I would like to have campfire stuff without, you know, survival stuff. If it had no other bells and whistles, just you can build this portable campfire and you can rest at it, I would be very happy with that. The studio even offered them more seasons? Man, that's crazy. Can you imagine the new mods focus on Hammerfell and Daggerfall Unity after the Elder Scrolls 6 inspires mod authors with new ideas and with the ideas they wish they saw in 6? Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I expect in general, like, whenever a new release comes out, I bet you every game... Oh, we got some Wanderers here. I bet you all of the Elder Scrolls titles will get some renewed interest by mod authors. It was a really enjoyable stream. Thanks, take care. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Ito. Always appreciate it. See you next time. Are there sandstorms in any mods? You know, I was actually looking for that, Eric, because when I was going to think about doing the Nomad playthrough, I was trying to build a mod list before the poll was done. It looked like it was going to win, actually, before the Druid one. And I was looking at a bunch of like mods that could maybe support that. And I could not find like a proper sandstorm thing, but I would love to have something like that as well. You know, with the new Weathermancy mod, that type of, like, the way it makes the dust blow up on the screen and stuff, like, that is the type of effect I would love to see for a sandstorm. Actual screen shake. I mean, there's so much cool stuff you could do. Cloud Clouds greatly benefit from giving you toggled HUD elements. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's another thing. There are, Oh, she's kind of like not attacking. This is a sorcerer? Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright, we can't pacifier. Oh man, that stab beheaded her. Sheesh. Alright, they got normal loot tables, it looks like, once you kill them too. That's a cool event. My policy for my own projects, and if I was ever to put in charge of some series like that, is to release an entry with a satisfying conclusion to the plot that one entry set up, and drop some threads for further entries, but not major enough to demand continuation to actually have an ending. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting approach, Fiffinger. I think it's actually a smart approach. Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, it would be so hard for George R. R. Martin to do, like, a complete satisfying ending to every single thread. I feel like it would require a book in its own right. I don't know. I mean, he's talented enough to do it. But yeah, your approach kind of does make sense to me. Honestly, I love the guy, but it does reflect a little badly on George R. R. Martin when he signed off on a bunch of endings for the show. He had close input with the show, so he deserves some blame. Yeah. I don't know too much about it, like, personally, but it makes sense what you're saying, I think. Especially with all the new players coming to Daggerfall to see where Sentinel first appeared. Yeah, for sure. Has anyone here played Elder Scrolls Online? I actually bought Elder Scrolls Online back when It was on like a deep sail. And I was thinking about playing it just to check out some regions, like treat it like a single player game for myself. When it was first released, yes. What's up, Adler? Hope you're doing well. ESO didn't scratch the same itch that the other Elder Scrolls games do. I gave up on it pretty easy, especially because you have to pay monthly. I don't think there's a paid monthly anymore now. And I personally wouldn't really care about the progression. I would kind of just use it as like a single player game just for a little bit, personally. And then I would, I just want to explore the areas. I want to explore Valenwood. I want to explore Somerset Isle. I want to explore Black Marshes. So I think maybe it could scratch a little bit of that itch for me if I gave it a try. I'm wondering on people's opinions. That's all? Yeah. I do want to try it. I probably will try it this year. But I usually don't get into MMOs. It's kind of hard for me to get into MMOs. I've liked some of them in the past. But yeah, I haven't spent too much time with them. With Elder Scrolls Online, though, I do feel like, you know, it'll be interesting to see how they depicted these regions, you know? Some of the major regions. At least just to get an idea where the current developers stand on, like, how Valenwood should look, you know? How the cities and towns in this area should look. It's kind of interesting. Although I'm sure we won't see that stuff in, like, another 10 years. Elder Scrolls 7 maybe will be Black Marshes. All right, I missed a bunch of chat here. One sec. I know a person that only plays ESO. Yeah, MMOs can be like that. They can be super addicting. What's up, Juan? How's it going? ESO is like the arcade cousin of the Elder Scrolls series. Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. I know it's not going to have the deepest RPG mechanics, being an MMO as well. Sandstorm is a really cool idea. I might try some things out. Yo, Relentless Positivity, what's up? You're the perfect person for the job, I swear. Yeah, I would love a Sandstorm mod. It felt flat. I played a lot of MMOs, and neither the solo gameplay was good nor the multiplayer aspect. Gotcha. The dungeons felt like playing Diablo with friends. Everybody just did their own stuff. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Not surprising, though, honestly. I think a lot of MMOs, you know, they kind of feel that way. They don't really have, like, a strong RPG foundation anymore. Yeah, I could see that. I doubt I would really get into much group content anyway. Maybe I would do it, like, once or twice just to test it, but, yeah. You don't pay monthly anymore. The exploration in ESO is great, but the combat is awful, just so floaty and unsatisfying. Yeah, that's what I would like. I would expect the exploration to be cool. That's kind of what I'd be most interested in. I'll just do like some solo questing and see how it feels. Maybe see how some of the combat feels a little bit. I wouldn't get too into it, of course, but yeah, I would still be interested just to check out the exploration aspect. I want to see how they design the areas really badly. And I heard in ESO that every single region you can go to. Like, I think they have everything represented. I could be wrong about that. Maybe someone else that plays knows better than me, but I heard at least that you can go to, you know, Black Marshes, Valenwood, Hammerfell, High Rock, Somerset Isles maybe also, I think. Cyrodiil, right? I think all of it's all of it's available there, which is absolutely crazy. So it's kind of interesting. Thanks, I was kind of worried. I worded that in a confusing way. Nah, it made sense to me. I played ESO. It's pretty good at parts, and you could play it like it's single player, but it would feel like an MMO mechanically. Yeah, that's what I would expect. I'm actually okay with that, because I don't think I'd spend too much time with it, so I would just explore the world. Hey, we got some more travelers. I like this setup with the travelers now a lot less. We got a huge group here, though. Where are you guys going? What's up? Where are you headed? There's work waiting for me in Ceridon Combe if I ever arrive. That's a good little flavor text there for traveling through the desert. My bad, guys. I'm slow on chat reading. MMO has to be one of the hardest games to get right. I think so, too, yeah. I used to like some MMOs in the past, though. I played some EverQuest. I liked EverQuest, but it wasn't the most fun for me after some time. Elder Scrolls Online on Xbox is the best Elder Scrolls game ever. Oh, yeah? You like it? That's cool. What do you like about it the most? Sorry, I'm not sure how to say your name there. What about Elder Scrolls Online do you love? Must be some kind of inside agreement between companies like what happened way back with Lightbulb. Interesting. I don't know what that is. And oh, what's up, Mad Hatter? I think that's the first message I saw from you in the stream here. Welcome in. Honestly, feels to me that Fallout 76 now only It's a better Bethesda MMORPG than ESO now. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of that kind of makes sense to me, I think. Although I have not played any 76. I really haven't played too much Fallout in general. Though I feel like if I was going to start somewhere, it would probably be New Vegas for me. But yeah, I know 76 does have that MMO vibe for sure. A really hard sandstorm should give you a +1 damage buff for sharpening your weapon, but a penalty to speed for both. For each metal armor piece because of heat. That could be interesting. Yo, what's up, Exumer? Exumer, I remember you, my friend. In the Twitch chat. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm mostly on YouTube, so the yeah, of course, from Mr. Oh man, I can't think of the other streamer's name. I know you guys are from Germany, right? My German friend. I can't believe. Oh, Mr. Rat something. Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Sorry. If I saw it, I would remember it. But yeah, welcome. I hope you're doing well. I haven't popped into his stream in a while, so. Prince of Nothing is Game of Thrones meets Gnosticism. The theme is if thought arises from a darkness before awareness, can men alter their minds, or is there freedom in illusion? That's kind of cool. Mr. Radis, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it was. That's right, the guy who played Ephemeral Fantasia, yeah. That's how I found his stream, huh? Man, that's a long time ago now. That's like 2 years ago, I feel like now, maybe more. I hope you've been well, Exumer. All right, we're checking out some Daggerfall mods today. Let's see here. A lot of healers out here in Hammerfell. It's kind of cool. Let's get on our camel, though, and keep moving. Yo, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so bad on catching up on chat here. By the way, I mentioned it last time, but if I ever miss your message, you know, feel free to send it again. Doesn't bother me. Not spamming or anything like that. I don't mind it. All right, let's see here. How is it not? If you play on Xbox, the combat feels better than Oblivion. The graphics are good. The whole of Tamriel is explorable. That is something I like about it a lot, and that is what would be interesting for me. I was talking with a commenter. He was saying MMOs are hard to get right, but not really. Companies seem to have an agreement with similar to how the light bulb was purposely defective for prop. Oh, I got you, Mad Hatter. I see what you're saying now. Yo, what's up, Void Ghost? Hope you're having a wonderful day, Shpan. Hey, thank you. I am. This has been a nice stream right now. I'm enjoying this mod a lot. I'm a big fan of this one. And, yeah, I hope you guys should try it out. If you do try it out for yourselves, make sure to give it a endorsement for sure. I don't feel well. Oh, man, we got a zombie. I really need some arrows. I'm going to read the chat while I fight here, so I might get struck a bunch. Definitely start New Vegas before 76. Yeah, I think that's the plan for me. I wasn't interested earlier when you said it was philosophy focused. However, now that you mentioned Gnosticism, I might have to check it out. Yeah, that could be cool. Twitch has a neglected middle child. Nah, I'm looking at chat. I'm looking at Twitch here. But it is a much smaller base. I feel like all of my, all my subscribers from YouTube can see my YouTube stuff. But I'm trying real hard to get the Twitch stuff up. I'm going to write in the chat here, guys. If you do want to follow me on Twitch, it does help me out a lot here. But if you prefer YouTube, that's totally fine, of course. But I do like to multi-stream, so you guys have the option. I don't catch many lives, but do watch a lot of your content. Love Daggerfall, what you do. Hey, thanks, Mad Hatter. I really appreciate that. I always love reading these nice comments. You guys have been super supportive, super kind. I always appreciate it. Even though my monotone voice might make it hard to get that through my thank you messages, but I do appreciate it a lot. I feel like comparing them is kind of hard. They're fundamentally quite different. Yeah. Shpan, I found a multi-chat extension for OBS that's free and pretty easy to use. I could send you the tutorial link if you're still interested in merging chats. Yeah, Pumpy, that could be really helpful for me. I tried one that I couldn't get working. And I think what's weird about my setup, Pumpy, is that, and I know this is so silly, but on my Streamlabs, I actually have two different accounts. One that is connected to my Twitch and one that's connected to my YouTube. And I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but I think part of the reason is because I streamed on Twitch like many years ago, a very long time ago. So I'd have to find a way to like get them under one Streamlabs account. I know it's possible. I just have to spend some time looking into that. Is Tamriel and ESO still smaller than Daggerfall's map? I would guess probably it has to be, right? Just because Daggerfall is absolutely gigantic. Though I guess maybe it is possible that they're similar in scope. Some of the regions are really cool. Daggerfall regions flirt with this sort of Castlevania-ish gothic horror setup. Valenwood makes the forest feel like a character in its own right, and Somerset is so beautiful that it almost feels uncanny and a little creepy, which comes to a head when you see some of its dark sides. That's pretty sick, yeah. That is what I'd be most interested in. I just want to get a sense for their interpretation of the regions. I'd get a sense of, like, you know, what kind of direction they want to take Valenwood in future titles, or where they want to take Somerset Isles. I know that stuff is like a decade ago anyway, but yeah. Or a decade away anyway, but yeah. It would still be interesting to me, just as a fan of Elder Scrolls. Maybe I'll get a little bit more in touch with the lore as well. Alright, this zombie doesn't want to die. We're peacing out. Twitch deleted my channel out of the blue a few years ago. I've never been back there since. Oh man, that's a nightmare. Yeah. Did something happen in modding that made it easier? I never looked into it that much. There are so many gameplay changing mods coming out. Yeah, I have no idea, Eric. I honestly have no idea. It's been an absolutely insane last month, though. I have no idea. I just feel like part of it is because the interest in Daggerfall is really growing. I just feel like people are hyping up the game. There's a couple, like, you know, indie games that are coming out that are inspired by it, like Wayward Realms, Broken Dagger, the Indie Scrolls, that Laughless Lantern of the Laughless something. That's another one. There's just a bunch of, I don't know, a lot of people are interested in this sandbox RPG stuff. And Daggerfall is like one of the best to do it, so it kind of makes sense that it's had some kind of inspiration going for that. But it's really exciting to see. I just think also people are coming to Unity because it's stable, it's a really fun sandbox RPG with so much modding content, so you can kind of just build the RPG experience you want. The hands-off approach that Bethesda created in 1996 lets you just kind of ignore the main quest and do what you want to do. Yeah, this is a camel. What's up, Casemiro? If you guys didn't know, if you got the free rain mod, you actually can just choose a camel or a horse, and there's a couple different variants for colors. Oh man, I feel like chat's exploding. One sec, let me catch up on some of this. I can help too. I use the OBS, and you sign into them separately into a little joint window and can go live on them separately or at the same time. Yeah, Pumpy, that would definitely help me out. Maybe I can message you after the stream or something if you're okay with that, and I'd appreciate that, though. That's really useful for me. I gotta get a real PC going soon, so my poor little Steam Deck doesn't burst into flames. Yeah, what's up, zombie? I think that's the first message I saw of you in today's stream. Hope you're doing well. Moorball Ravenglare is a really good dagger-like, so I've taken to calling it. Oh, that's cool, Void. I don't know if I've heard of that game, actually. Lantern of the Laughless Saint. Yeah, Laughless Saint, that's what it's called. Looks pretty cool. I forgot it launched a few days ago. People are loving it, Evan. I know it's more like Morrowind than it is like Daggerfall. At least it's what I've heard. But honestly, I like the aesthetic a lot. I like the way it looks. I like the game's, like, a lot of the game design options they got going on are interesting. That's on my list for sure. I think Lantern is more Morrowind style. Yeah, that's what I think so too. If you guys should check that game out if you're interested at all in this stuff. You have a fair face for a stranger on the road. Here, take this. I have more coin than I can carry, and a kind road is worth paying for. Nice, we got some free gold for stopping. These are really funny, some of these interactions here. I like this a lot. The only thing preferable about Twitch streaming, in my opinion, is the multitude of emotes and custom emotes you can implement. Otherwise, it's a headache to even look at the UI. I'll message you on Discord. Okay, perfect, Pumpy. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. Also, YouTube doesn't ban channels nearly as much as Twitch. Yeah, I don't know too much about that. Question, how do you sort your mod list? For me, Mad Hatter, I kind of just focus on, like, visual overhauls go to the bottom. Anything that would affect a mod before it, I just think about what kind of mod should load after it. So generally, I don't have to worry too much about it because Unity is very stable. And you don't have to worry too much, honestly, about your mod list. When there's specific interactions that are happening and if you have some issues, the best thing to do is just lower it in your mod list, and half the time that's going to, like, fix it immediately. But yeah, I just rarely have issues, even without thinking too deeply about the actual mod list. It's just a testament to how good and stable Unity is, honestly. And I think also Daggerfall's modding scene doesn't... someone was mentioning in yesterday's stream as well, but we don't really need to build off the foundation of other mods as often as some other games do, like Skyrim. Like in Skyrim, you might get a mod like, I don't know, the one that does all the animation rigging. And then, like, you got to be so careful with your mod list on where they all go and what overwrites whatever else. But I haven't had just any problems with Unity, really. AI makes coding mods a lot easier. Yeah, that's what I heard, too. How's it going, Possum Billy? Yeah, I've heard a lot of... it might be part of the reason we have a lot of new mod authors these days. Long road, isn't it? My boots have seen better days, but the inn at the next town is worth the walk. Nice. Let's see here. I stopped trying mods due to them breaking with me too much and spending more hours sorting and testing than oh, that's a shame. Do you remember which mods off the top of your head? The ones that tend to go wrong are the ones that require, like, Daggerfall expanded textures, so, you know, and require things like extra requirements. Like, I think Beautiful Cities of Daggerfall is another one that people have issues with a lot. I don't feel well. Another zombie here. These are cool. I feel like we're seeing a lot of them here. We're getting a good sense of all the different interactions that this mod has. Let's wait till nighttime, actually, and then we'll see what kind of interactions happen at night. Let's kill this guy here. There's more of them around us, maybe? Yeah, we're gonna do some night stuff here. Let's rest for like 5 hours. I'll catch up on chat here. I hope people double check in testing, but also even if they're doing most of the coding, AI would probably be helping in demystifying the systems. Yeah. Beautiful Cities is one I remember. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Mad Hatter. That is one of the ones people have issues with. Do Night, there's one I want to see. Yeah, let's go for it, Lineback. All right, let's do this. What time is it here? We're at... Okay, let's do another, like, 6 hours, maybe. Having trouble sleeping? Have you considered there's enemies nearby? Yeah. Always a good sign. All right, let's see here. We got a spider. Would you ever try the realistic horse and carriage mod for added difficulty? Yeah, I think you're talking about... what's it called, Glenn? Realistic Wagon might be what you're talking about. I have tried Realistic Wagon. I had one issue with it. It was so long ago, though. I don't think it was the actual mod's fault. I think it was probably my fault, honestly. I had some issue with it, though. I forgot what it was. Like, I was losing my wagon constantly when I was going into dungeons or something. I should try that out again, though. I was going to use Realistic Wagon if I did the Nomad playthrough, because it's like a perfect fit for that one. But, yeah, that lost the poll, so... Let's talk to this guy real quick. You have an updated video of the mods you use up to now and a possible order layout guide for sorting. I could try making a order layout. I don't have one right now. And I also don't have a fully updated mod list. My most recent updated full mod list is from March. So I have a video on my channel called, like, the best Daggerfall mods you need in 2026. I think that's the title. That's my entire mod list showcase for you guys. But there's been so many mods since then, it's missing a ton. By now, it's missing a ton, like probably over 20, honestly. So I am kind of due for a full mod list video. The problem is they are an insane amount of work for me to do. They always take me like 2 weeks, like actually 2 weeks to do them. That's why I usually do it once a year, and I have a massive update. But when it comes to just doing like a quick post about my mod list and the order, I could do that. That'd be easy enough. But if I was going to showcase each individual one, yeah, that takes me like a few weeks to do that. Yeah, watch that one, thanks. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that video is like my best performing video, I think, on my channel. I was really humbled by all the support that one got. It was awesome. There is also Arden Fell for Morrowind likes. I had to look it up. I forgot about that. I don't think I heard that one either. The Laughing Saint, though, is 100% going to be played by me. I'm going to try that one for sure. I think that the aesthetic they got is, like, really good, actually. Tell me about yourself. Farmer's son from the lowlands. The land back home is too small for 3 brothers, so I walk. All right, this guy doesn't look like he's got an event here. With Daggerfall expanded textures, use both the new version and the legacy version at the same time for compatibility. That's what I do, actually, Techno, yeah. It's good advice. With Beautiful Cities, don't save in buildings outside the wall, yeah. And actually, even with doing that, I still have one small issue, weirdly enough, with my Beautiful Cities of Daggerfall. But because it's so unimportant to me, I don't even want to risk like touching it or reinstalling it, so I don't even bother. But the taverns that spawn in the city squares are buildings I can't actually enter, which is really weird. And I don't think I've seen anyone else with this issue. But it's such a minor issue that I don't even want to mess with the with the mod. Any news? Centaurs patrol the east, but put a spear through your pack. We did find a little, what's it called? Grammar mistake here. No big deal, but I don't know, Linebeck, if you care to make a note of that or something like that. If I find anything, I'll try to point it out to you. Not that it's a big deal, of course. You're the first soul I've met today. Good to know I'm not walking a ghost road. Next one will do even better? Yeah, thanks. I hope so. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. When I have to do my 2027 modless video, that's going to take me like 3 weeks to get done probably. Because by that point, with all the stuff that's coming out, I already have like 20 more mods. It's going to be an absolutely huge video. The first one I did in 2025 was like a 26 or 28 minute video. The second one I did in 2026 was a 52-minute video, I think. 2027 is going to be like an hour and a half at least. NPC looks so beautiful in her orange dress. Yeah, I like, I think I have the vanilla enhanced, and they look really good. I like the original art style with them. And in general, I think the NPCs look good in Daggerfall, the artwork for them. Both the pre-rendered and the non-pre-rendered ones, they both look nice. But yeah, Hammerfell has some really good looking NPCs. But vanilla enhanced is like the perfect extra touch for me personally. I always keep procrastinating on Realistic Wagon because it'll be much more immersive, but it'll make the game way harder and more tedious in a fun way, though. Yeah, for sure. I've had a couple people ask me to add it before, but I just need like the right playthrough for it to fit. Otherwise, I don't know if I would love it. But if I did the Nomad Merchant, absolutely it would go in that playthrough. It's a perfect fit for that playthrough. Is this on a road or wilderness encounters? So this is just from the Wandering NPCs mod. And they can wander anywhere. I don't think they specifically travel on roads or anything right now. They just kind of travel out in the wilderness. But yeah, right now we're just in the wilderness. We're not on a road. We can see a pack here. Or a group here, I should say. Your top Daggerfall YouTuber out there, to be honest? Hey, thanks, Mad Hatter. Yeah, there's a couple other good ones as well. And a couple other really big ones. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ragnarok's content. He makes great videos on Daggerfall. Really great stuff. I like his channel a lot. Night air is good for walking, bad for thinking. I really like how they're contextual, you know? These comments care about the, you know, environment, the weather, the time of day. It just adds that extra bit of flavor. Bless you, traveler. I gather simples along these roads. Take this draught. It will mend what ails you. Oh, this is cool. This is the first time I got a potion. I'm not sure which one she gave me. Maybe the nose can show me. Probably not, right? Herbalist gives you a healing potion. Oh, it actually does. That's cool. Pack is in, like, traveling backpack. Oh, yeah, right. I see what you're saying. Yo, what's up, Deadbeat Artist? Welcome to the stream. We're checking out some of this Wandering NPC mod here. I was literally in the middle of typing that you should add Realistic Wagon for your merchant run. Yeah, yeah, that was 100% going in the list there. I had a full list for that one because like the first 4 or 5 days on the poll, it was winning. And then the Druid just started getting all this momentum. And I kind of want to apologize to you guys. It's been like 2 weeks and I still don't have the first episode of the Druid done. And that's partly because, this is kind of an excuse as well, but it's partly because I'm trying to make it a lot more like cinematic, and I'm trying to get the production quality a lot better. So I'm trying to build up like this intro that has a lot of different cuts, really explains the story well, explains the role-playing context that we're going for. And I want to set the scene so well that you get invested immediately in what we're doing, because the story kind of starts with us being summoned to this region, the capital of this region, and we get all this information about the undead growing threat and all this stuff. And that kind of sets down the role-playing goal of dealing with the 3 hotspots. And then I have something very, very cool planned for the final episode if we make it there. And I don't know, I also want to get your guys' opinion. Maybe I should do a poll about this right now. You know what? I'm actually going to do a poll about this real quick. This might be a little controversial on the channel here. Should the Druid playthrough... Should the Druid playthrough be permadeath or just Iron Man? So Iron Man would be like restrictions / like challenges, or just restrictions, all right? And the reason I asked this is because it's really going to be like more narrative focused, and it might be something a little bit different than what you're used to from my Let's Plays. But let me start this poll. All right, permadeath, if that's what you guys prefer, or no permadeath. Just Iron Man. All right, let's see what you guys think about this. Because I'm kind of conflicted. I'm conflicted partially because I really want this, like, it's only going to be like an 8-episode series, and I want the story to end. And I'm just a little bit worried that I could die. But the character is also going to be strong. Like, this is going to be a strong character. This is not going to be some kind of weak playthrough. My Drew is going to have pretty crazy capabilities, and they're going to start at level 10. So the basic stuff like poisons, diseases, or paralysis, I don't think those are going to stop me, you know? Sounds like worth the wait. Yeah, I hope so. I say 100% Die Harder. Yeah, I'm going to also think about that, Fiffinger. I really liked your idea for that. Let me catch up on chat a little bit more. They may be big, but that's just because people haven't found you as easily. Keep it up, man. You'll go far with this content for sure. I appreciate that, Mad Hatter. Yeah, I'm trying to put in the work. I already feel very humbled by all the support, though, honestly. I'm very, very happy with where my channel's at, especially because, you know, it's a hobby for me. It's not like a full-time job thing or anything like that, so I'm very happy with my channel's growth this year. Very humbling stuff. You and Grimoire Magic are the goats of Daggerfall YouTube right now. I prefer the less polished approach. It's more cozy and homely, though the added production value in your newer vids are striking good balance. Yeah, that's cool. I can understand that. Use that time to wait for that borrowed Wild Shapes mod to develop more. Yeah, I could also do that. I was thinking about that as well. It might be done. I'm not... Oh, possibly a new creature added too? Yeah, maybe. The goal for the Druid playthrough is we're going to... Basically, the story is going to be there's an undead growing threat in Yucca... What's this region called again? I can actually check. I think it's called Icolon is how you pronounce it, in Icolon. And this region is kind of historically known for having, like, haunted areas, a big undead presence, and we're going to be a druid that's centered from somewhere else, and we get summoned by the Mara Temple here in the capital city to deal with this threat. And I'm going to choose 3 hotspots that we have to clear out, and then there's some other mods I have that are interesting, like kind of healing the land and stuff like that. There's a whole list of stuff, but yeah, that's like the small goal I can give you for now. I thought Iron Man meant automatic saves only. I thought Iron Man was just kind of like a broad term for specific challenge runs where you set the challenges. For those taverns in the middle of beautiful cities, have beautiful cities below unofficial block location and model fixes mod. Interesting. Yeah. What's a good price to pay for a house? I found one for 3,000 gold. Oh, horse. Yeah, 3,000 gold's not bad. Is that before or after your mercantile and personality kicked in for the discount? You generally want to go to the most rundown, lowest quality general goods store for that, if you can find them in a city. Unofficial block location and model fixes mods should be located fairly high in the load order. Yeah, maybe that'll help Mad Hatter out a little bit if they want to try that. These old games are PC games. They were designed to be saved and loaded. This is not console platformer. You developed a whole storyline? Yeah, this one I do want to have a whole storyline. Wow, okay, no permadeath, just Iron Man. This is actually really helpful because my kind of shtick on the channel for a while was the permadeath stuff, and I love doing it. It's very fun. I just don't know if it always makes for the best content. I think if someone reads the headline like, oh, this is permadeath, that is an exciting context. But if you get invested into my story, like my pirate playthrough, you know, and then I make a mistake in a dungeon, like 18 episodes in, or whatever it was, I don't know how many episodes in it was, but let's say it was like 18 episodes in and I make a mistake and I die like I did, you know, and then we lose the story. It could be kind of sad. I don't know. When I'm making my own personal playthroughs, that doesn't bother me. But when I'm making content for you guys and trying to, you know, share my role-playing passion and like Daggerfall and all that kind of stuff, then I do feel kind of bad about letting runs die. And I try to be extra careful, which might hurt my role-playing a little bit because I need to be, you know, thinking about not letting this character die. So if I just did like an Iron Man run, I think it could be okay, right? And it looks like you guys don't mind either way, so I think you guys might maybe then prefer to see the story through rather than let it die to the permadeath stuff. which is kind of like how I feel these days as well, which is kind of interesting that my opinion on that's kind of changed over time. But I still do like both a lot, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, Fifinger had a good idea for using the Die Harder mod as well, which I could consider that also. Let me catch up on chat here. Probably before, I'll keep looking. I forgot that the store description at door will help prices. Yeah, they will. Yeah. You're going to have a source of the corruption, like a Greater Lich or Curse item? Yeah, we're going to have a source, and I don't want to spoil the final episode, but I have something so cool planned for it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to capture it correctly. It might be too ambitious, but I'm going to go for it. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, it's going to come to a... I wrote my own stuff for the playthrough, and I did some light modding. So I changed some of the rumors. I have some custom letters that we're going to see when we go into some of the custom dungeons. So I'm excited about all that stuff, but I have to plant it all. And because I'm planting it, it's kind of not like a real permadeath run anymore, you know? It's kind of like a story I'm building. And just because this playthrough's like this, doesn't mean all the future playthroughs have to be this way. You know, I'll see how you guys feel about it, of course. But I just thought it'd be cool to try something different. And this is going to be a lot different. But once we actually... as I say, it'll be a lot different. There's a lot of similarities too. Like, the first episode's going to be a lot more directed and purposeful and sort of controlled. But then there's going to still be emergent stuff happening in like episode 2 and 3. We still have to travel to these areas. And while we travel, we'll have, you know, wandering NPCs and Warm Ashes stuff. So there's plenty of emergent stuff that's going to happen. But if it's not permadeath, I don't have to worry as much about controlling everything and being extra safe. And I can kind of control the role-playing stuff more, take more risks, try to set up more like crazy story moments and stuff. So yeah, it's just something to think about. I haven't fully decided yet, but your guys' opinions help a lot with this. Project Legacy would be a way to make permadeath work since you keep playing as a descendant. Yeah, that's one way to make it. Another way to make it is what Fifinger told me about last time, where I could set the Die Harder mod, which saves you when you die. It could start off as 100% and then go down every time I die to like 80%, then 60, then 40. That would give me multiple deaths to go through from a playthrough. It's an interesting idea. I never thought of something like that. I like the urgency of permadeath, but it'd be cool if it's like your Thief playthrough yesterday when you died and chat voted on a second chance anyway. So the urgency was there, but we just pick up anyway. Yeah, that's another way I could do it, Blooming. I thought about that as well. Blooming, I thought about it with the Pirate playthrough as well, too. I thought maybe for the Pirate playthrough, I should just ask you guys. We were so far in it, but yeah, it also was a very long playthrough, and I'm ready to have stories that are a little shorter so I can do more stuff, you know? But I would have loved for that story to finish because of how much time I put into it. But it also did make for a really exciting moment. And really intense for myself playing it. It was fun. Nothing is worse than... I missed the chat. Nothing is worse than having loads of pressure on you when streaming. Yeah, I feel that as well. Are you ready, Camel? What I missed? Yo, what's up, Nathan? Yeah, this is... if you didn't know, Nathan, sorry I missed your message a while ago. If you have the free rain mod, which I feel like everyone has, you actually can go to the third tab here. And you could choose the camel, or you could choose the horse, actually. So there's a camel option. And they have different variants for colors and looks, so it's very cool. Got this little camel. Whenever I go to the desert areas, I always choose the camel. Permadeath does change the way you play fundamentally, though, so it's something to really consider. Yeah, absolutely. Is there a mod where if you die, you lose everything you are carrying and awaken in a nearby town, kind of roguelike? Yeah, Possum Billy, there is the Die Harder mod, which accomplishes a little bit of that. You have a chance to survive. It doesn't mean you necessarily lose everything. And you could actually wake up in a situation so bad you die again anyway. But Die Harder creates a percentage chance to be found by a friendly NPC and brought to a safe place like a tavern, has a chance to be captured in a dungeon, have a chance to wake up in the same place but hours later. It's a very cool mod. Highly recommend it. That's so sick you modded just for this run. Never seen that before with a run. Take your time, man. This will be your best playthrough yet. Yeah, I hope so. I appreciate that, Blooming. Yeah, and it's very basic modding, though. The stuff that you can just do with a notepad, basically, because I have no coding experience. If you guys don't know, making custom quests in Daggerfall is actually very easy. And yeah, you can do a lot of it with just the notepad. You just got to look at the layout and learn it from the wiki. There's a wiki tutorial stuff online. I tried permadeath before. It was too heartbreaking. I love your videos on it, though. I play with Die Harder now to make dying punishing, but it's not the end of the world, literally. Yeah, it's a great sort of compromise to get the best of both worlds, I feel like. You got a lot of big modders following you. You should contact them to work with you to cultivate a crazy-ass playthrough. Genuinely could be like a fantasy series more than a simple Let's Play. Yeah, the only thing, Blooming, I don't like to personally ask modders to make content for me, personally. I wouldn't want them to feel any kind of pressure to do it. and I feel like I'm friendly with some of them, and I feel like they might do it for me even if they don't want to, just because I asked. So I wouldn't want to do that personally. Of course, it would be cool. I've had some modders reach out to me though, like Luan reached out to me because of my Druid playthrough, and that was part of the inspiration for why he was working on the wild shapes. So that I'm more than happy to always accept help. But yeah, I don't think I would directly ask them just because I wouldn't want to put any pressure on them to do it. But yeah. But yeah, I always appreciate when modders reach out to me. I've had many modders reach out to me. I've had Cliffworms reach out to me as well. He's an awesome guy. Yeah. And I talked to Jet0822 a lot when he was making his roguelike mod. Another awesome person in the community. Maybe if you lose, you'll officially... I'm going to guess flying a flying bug, ancient lich on a dragon. Or maybe if you lose in the final, you're setting up, you could treat that as an official death. Yeah, something like that would be fine for me too. So the story can play out, but there's still the chance of losing finally. Yeah, maybe like the final episode, it gets toggled on or something. I love that you get to change the Die Harder settings. It's so good. Yeah, that's like the best part. I actually love having that kind of customizability option because when I was doing my pirate playthrough, I actually did have Die Harder on. And I had the chance like super low just for that small chance that like a super clutch thing could happen for the channel. And it would be such an awesome emergent storytelling moment. It'd be very memorable too. But yeah, unfortunately, when I died in that dungeon, I didn't get saved. But there was like a 5% chance I think I had. You could do a playthrough someday with a story where there's a group of friends that used to be an old adventuring party and hand off the quest to a new character / class when one dies. Yeah, there's a couple ideas I actually did think about, Eric, that were similar to that. Ways to kind of keep the story going, even if I do die. I had trouble kind of setting it up so that it was like obvious to the viewer. And I was trying to think of ideas of how I could do that. But yeah, it is a good idea though. And something I could try to think more deeply about and try to come to some solution. But yeah. If you're willing to, if you pay them for their work, that would be great for everybody. Like, I like that you don't want to exploit anyone's work, knowing they'd be willing to work for free. Yeah. Yeah, if there was ever someday a mod author that wanted to do it for some pay, yeah, and if I was like some kind of idea I really wanted, something like that, I would be more comfortable with, I think. But in general, though, I think like the best work from mod authors comes when they have the inspiration and the passion for a certain project. Like when I was talking to Luan, he's a big fan of druids and RPGs as well, and it just coincided so well with my druid playthrough, winning the poll, and we were just getting really excited about like brainstorming ideas, and I was testing a lot of his stuff when he was first doing it, and he just came up with such great... He designed the wild shapes so nicely, and I feel like, you know, it's partly because he was really inspired and he was feeling passionate about it, and he did awesome work, and that's going to be a huge part of the druid playthrough for us. We're starting the druid playthrough at level 10, so we're going to have a lot of spells already. We're already known in the region as a well-known druid. And so I did a little bit of light modding so that some of the NPCs, when they speak to me directly, they refer to me as Archdruid, and they're kind of aware of the dire situation that's going on in the region. And so they're excited about my, well, some might be skeptical, but some are excited about my appearance here. You have a fair face for a stranger on the road. Here, take this. I have more coin than I can carry, and a kind road is worth paying for. Another 226 gold? That's nice. Kind of sounds like he's flirting with me a little bit there, though. Giving me a little allowance there. I do an in-house mechanic on top of Die Harder. I must safely sleep for 6+ hours for a checkpoint save. If I die and hit the game over screen, I delete the saves made after the latest checkpoint. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that kind of creative way of getting around it or building your own sort of systems like this. It's my personal way to make the game more engaging while not being too punishing. Yeah, I like that idea. I could use for some more ideas like that, honestly. And I was trying to I was writing a list of restrictions for my druid playthrough, and I couldn't really come to like a certain restriction about death that I was satisfied with. I know there could be a lot of ideas out there, but yeah, I didn't really write, or I haven't really settled on a restriction about death yet, if I want to do that. But with this poll, it's a little bit split, but you guys in general, I think, would prefer to see the story play out rather than just have the permadeath end it. I think we could end the poll here. 29 of you guys voted. Thanks, I appreciate that. It's actually really useful information for me because I know it's kind of been historically a big part of my channel, the whole permadeath stuff. And I know some people were talking about how they tried it for the first time after seeing my stuff, and I also didn't realize that Daggerfall actually had a lot of players that did permadeath before I even realized it. Because I know people like Rouser, you guys might know the name. He's a really talented mod author as well. He's been around in the scene for a while, I think. And he had mentioned to me a long time ago that, you know, he enjoyed permadeath. So I'm sure he was doing that long before my channel was a thing. So it's kind of interesting. There was already kind of was a population of Daggerfall players that enjoy permadeath. Wow, this looks really nice at night right here. I'm a big fan of the desert regions here. There's so many ways to make Daggerfall a completely unique experience now. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it just really, it fits well for using your imagination too. Something about this game's like foundation of systems where it just works. There's some games I find that harder for me to do, and some where I find it easier to kind of supplement my imagination or like build in my own restrictions and stuff. But I love doing it for Daggerfall. I just like to make sure that it's like well communicated to the viewers, you know. I want everyone to know the stakes, understand the role-playing context, understand the story and stuff, so yeah. The best option is if you linger on Lysander's Tomb Discord if you're not already, get whiffs of upcoming modding projects, and contact appropriate authors to say you want to broadcast or work to the run. Yeah, something like that could work. I am in that Discord. I haven't posted in it yet, but yeah, I do check out the new mod section every now and then. It's very cool. It's nice to get an idea of what's coming up. Do you ever find yourself saying halt when you're driving or doing something else randomly? Intrusive thoughts of the day? I have not yet, but I could easily see that happening. Of any line to come to my mind, that probably would be the one. That or like random skeletal warrior sounds. Just blurting out of my mouth. It'll light an extra fire under their butts too, so they have a good goal to work towards and they get advertising to DFU players like us win-win, the best kind of winning. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Let me bring in some more oil here. I like these mod settings I have right now. Like, I don't see them too often, the wandering NPCs, but it's not too rare either. I feel like, let me check what I actually have. I want to make a note of what I set for this. I randomly chose this, but... Oh, I actually have it on very high still. Let's lower this a little bit. Let's put it to like 120 and see how this feels for a little bit. See how rare it is to find someone. Because I'm trying to find a good balance for the playthrough. The Thief playthrough is going to use this in live stream, and I think the Druid playthrough will make use of this as well. Permadeath keeps the Let's Play from going on too long because it becomes stale. If you have a story, though, I think it's better to see it through. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting my Pirate playthrough to take as long as it did. It was almost 6 months. But part of that is not just because of... It's really not because of the playthrough itself. I was sometimes taking breaks, sometimes only doing one episode a week. So that's part of why it took so long. And some weeks I wouldn't do it at all. You know, I'd have like 2 weeks before the next episode, sometimes 3 weeks. Depending if I was trying to do like mod content otherwise. But yeah, taking 6 months for a playthrough I think is too long for me. Not because I lose interest, but because I want to be able to do other stuff on the channel. And it's exciting to, you know, start up a new playthrough and role-play different ideas, explore different regions. There's so much of Daggerfall, and new mods come out that support role-playing concepts that, like, to spend 6 months on a single playthrough is something I probably won't do again for a long time on the channel. So the Druid playthrough, I'm already trying to building it to be like an 8 to 10 episode playthrough, depending on how sidetracked we get. That's why I'm going to have more defined goals. And there's still going to be some, you know, going off the path, of course, when we're traveling and stuff, but that'll help keep it more organized and more of like a role-playing story I can share with you guys. And then I'll see how this layout feels. It might not be what I do in the future, but for right now, I want to try it for this next playthrough. I just have to... I got to sit down and really spend some time with it, though. I've been doing so many live streams. Sorry for swearing my messages. I'm a very sweary person. I keep forgetting you want to keep things family-friendly. Would prefer if I self-censor my swears. Yeah, it's okay, Blooming. If you don't mind, it would be a little better for me, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. I'll just substitute a word like when I have to, or I'll just skip over it. So it doesn't bother me personally at all. It's just for YouTube. I'm going to go now, Shpan. Thanks for dedicating this stream to my mod. I hope you've enjoyed using it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Linebeck. Yeah, this was amazing. Thank you for putting in the work, sharing it with the community. It turned out amazingly. I'm a huge fan. So, yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next stream. Take care. And thanks for hanging out. Yeah, this is a better frequency, I think. Even though it's been a very long time since we've seen anyone, I like the idea of it not being too common like this. I think it's really good when it's like pretty sparse. You want to see them sometimes, but I wouldn't want to see them like all the time. We'll see how long it takes for us to find someone else here. They could also be spawning behind me, though, of course. Just because I'm looking out in this direction doesn't mean that's where they're all spawning necessarily. But yeah. I'll try remembering that. YouTube is definitely a pain in the butt. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly no big deal either way. But I appreciate you asking. I do put like the chat overlay up. But yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I already put my streams to like I do the setting where it's not for kids, you know, so I don't think it actually matters. For my actual like published videos though, yeah, I usually don't do that for those, because then you have to select a different box for the ad stuff, which isn't really a big deal. I don't think like light cursing matters actually, but I'm not exactly sure what YouTube like considers, you know, like cursing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that stuff's up to an opinion of whoever moderates it. Yeah. So, but yeah, not a big deal either way. How amusing. I tune in while you're riding an alpaca. Yo, what's up? No masters. Yeah, we're looking for we're testing some of the mod settings for the new mod that came out, Traveling NPCs. We've tried to lower their spawn here, their interval, and we're going to see how long it takes for us to find someone. We're trying to find like a good balance between them spawning a decent amount of time and then not too much, you know. So I want to see them like, you know, maybe every single 5 to 10 minutes in real-time traveling, but I don't want to see them constantly, like every 20 seconds. I don't want to stunt your channel growth by a little or a lot. You need more subs. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. I've had pretty insane growth these days, actually, honestly. It's been really, really amazing. I'm really not sure why, also, which is kind of strange. My recent video is doing really well, though. It's actually the best performing video on my channel since March, which is absolutely insane. I've made a lot of content since March, and it's by far the best performing content since then. And that's only because in March I had the 2026 modless video, which is my best video performance-wise. Yeah, it's been crazy. I'm happy with where my sub count is. I'm happy with all the how the channel's doing and stuff like that. Probably because one of the most consistent Daggerfall YouTubers right now. Yeah, I do feel like I'm getting a decent amount of content out there. I think also I'm doing a little bit better on my thumbnails, which really were not good for a long time. I'm not that great at that stuff. I wish I was an artist, but I'm not an artist. Some people are really talented with the thumbnail stuff. And it took me a while to kind of learn the tools of Krita, which is the tool I use for building my own thumbnails and stuff. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it like a lot better now. I think I've got some better thumbnails recently. By the way, thanks for compliments on my house rule. I love it, and it really makes me consider stopping at taverns. Yeah, for sure. I always love to hear those type of things, you know, because Daggerfall is so well suited for building your own restrictions and all that kind of stuff. And every single playthrough I do has some list of built-in restrictions that are just sort of my own imagination that a mod doesn't necessarily support, or, you know, I can't either find a mod that does exactly what I want. So I tend to do that all the time anyway, personally. So yeah, I always love hearing more about someone else's, you know, ideas. I've actually used a lot of people's ideas, honestly. And Fiffinger, your idea about the Die Harder mod is also brilliant. I literally would have never thought of that either. You started popping up on my feed. Don't know why. Algorithm likes you. That's good for me. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm also trying to build some more beginner content. That's what I'm working on this week. I'm working hard on like a really comprehensive beginner guide. I won't spoil the exact concept of it, but I get a lot of new people asking me about things in Daggerfall, and I kind of realized I don't really have great tutorial content. In 2025, I was doing more of it, and I did have some. By the way, it's been a while since we've seen anyone. Let me stop and see if they spawn in. Let's go to like a more open area we can stop and see if someone spawns and walks past us. But yeah, I used to do more tutorial content early on. So I want to revisit that a little bit. So I have like a very comprehensive video to give someone if they ask me a question on my, you know, channel or something. But Yeah, I've been really humbled by all the support recently. I always appreciate it. I always feel like I need to find a better way to show my appreciation. I try to, like, I don't know. My membership goals are just like there for those that want to support me, which I really appreciate. But I don't actually feel like the membership perks are that good because I don't know what to do for them. I thought about doing like specific shorts, but I don't want to gatekeep any of the shorts either. So it's like not a good solution to me. I don't want to make content that's ever behind like a paywall or anything like that. So that's not a good solution for me. That's definitely not going to happen. And I don't know. Otherwise, it's just like all I can do is say thank you. So yeah. Warrior dragon, I got you, Gecko. You want to see a dragon? Let's spawn in our dragon here. Also, if you guys haven't seen the new model for it by SquidKamer, it's absolutely incredible. It can fly. I've got the sound effects turned off for it. Yours is easily the most interesting Daggerfall Unity mind channel. Hey, I appreciate that, No Masters. Always makes me really happy to, read comments like that. I'm actually so surprised at how little, like, I don't really get trolls. Everyone's been so nice to me in the community. Both, like, viewers and, like, the actual modders themselves and stuff. I just feel like everyone's been awesome in Daggerfall community. It's got to be one of the best. I thought I'd get a lot more trolls and some more negative comments, because it just kind of comes with the space, right? But it really rarely happens. Are there pyramid dungeons in vanilla or mods? That's a really good question, Open. And welcome to the stream. I think that's the first message I saw from you. Like a pyramid dungeon. The closest thing I can think of, and I can actually show you. It's not a pyramid, though. I don't know if there's really a pyramid dungeon. There is a new mod, though, Open Minds. I could write in the chat for you, called Dungeon... Daggerfall Dungeon Variety Mod, I think? Yeah, it's called Daggerfall Dungeon Variety Mod. Us old folks are genuinely nice. Yo, what's up, Mr. Radis? Oh, man, it's good to see you, my friend. Yeah, called Daggerfall Dungeon Variety Mod, and it does retexture a lot of the different dungeon types. And one of them might have like a pyramid theme. I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked at all of them. Yo, Mr. Radis. I meant to pop into your stream. I didn't get around to it, but I meant to pop into your stream when I saw your comment on my Realms of Arcania video. I hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you. I saw Exumer was in here as well earlier, and I immediately thought of you guys, my German friends. Cool, was just wondering. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a pyramid mod for sure. Yeah, first message. Yo, welcome to the stream. There was also, there's another mod called Dungeons of Daggerfall, and I have not actually seen all of the different custom mods that are added from it, but it does add some custom mods, and dungeons, and they have different themes. One of them is like a pirate cove, one of them is like the Dwemer. So it's possible there could be like a pyramid one out there. I just enjoy hearing you talk. Yo, what's up, Box Guy? Yeah, I've heard that some people like falling asleep to my Let's Plays. I don't know if that's like my voice thing or just because Daggerfall is so cozy. But hey, whatever works. I like that too sometimes. I like to watch like Let's Plays and put it on in the background before I go to bed. I used to do that with some games. I do feel like Daggerfall is really cozy. If I didn't play Daggerfall so much, that probably would be my choice for like a background thing. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the NPCs for a while now, so let's try to change the mod settings here a little bit. Maybe we'll go with let's try like 80-ish and see if that feels a little bit better. Yeah, I do think the old folks are just genuinely nice. That's also true. I can see in my metrics that a lot of you guys are between like in their early 30s and stuff like that. So it makes sense. I do think we're kind of chiller. Daggerfall Union is a great modding community. When you've seen the GTA San Andreas, is that San Andreas? Yeah, mod community. You realize how refreshing it is to not have toxic drama and competition Yeah, modding's based on camaraderie / mutual help. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the, I think what like part of that is as well is that so many of the like long-term and kind of like legendary mod authors for Daggerfall are such kind people. Like every single one of them I've talked to, they've been awesome, supportive. Even when I've made mistakes, like multiple times I forgot to credit like cliffworms. And then I felt so, like in the beginning when I was first doing my modding videos, I wasn't that great at it, honestly. And I would like forget to, you know, credit the right people sometimes. And even still, just super understanding. They'd just be like, you know, credit where it's due. I did this or I did that. And then I would just, you know, I could pin their comment or just add it to my description or something. But yeah, I don't usually do that anymore, though. I've figured that stuff out. The prevalence of modding communities proves you don't need a profit incentive to do hours of work and proves that people will usually help each other and work together, not always be greedy jerks. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I agree with that. I think Daggerfall has a really passionate community as well in general. Though, I mean, Elder Scrolls, that's what's cool about Elder Scrolls in general, you know? I feel like all the games have their own very unique and passionate communities. Partly because they all make really great sandbox RPGs. And because they're legendary titles. I feel like Elder Scrolls is a great universe. With really good lore, interesting history. Excuse me. Daggerfall is definitely cozy. I finished a Unity playthrough last year. It was my first playthrough. Definitely had to use guides. That's awesome, Open Minds. Yeah, I'm actually pretty new to it also. I know it might not seem that way because I have a channel that's dedicated to it, but I've really only been playing Daggerfall for like 2.5 years now. And the channel is only like 1.5 years where I started Daggerfall content. But yeah, I always love to hear from new players. I feel like that's happening a lot in recent times. I just feel like I'm always hearing from new players. People trying out the game for the first time. What Unity did for this game is just unreal. Like, it cannot be overstated how valuable this was. And the Unity creators are just like some of the almost awesome people for taking on this project and then just doing it so well. Like, it's one thing to have the passion, but then when you combine that with like both the dedication, the work ethic, and then the skill and the talent, it's just like a perfect recipe. I was 34 yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I'm 34 myself. We were seeing in the last stream that like most of you guys were actually older than me. I'm interested in doing Let's Plays soon. You've definitely been an inspiration, and my friends have loved my gameplay and get so relaxed with it. That's awesome. I'm playing on a CRT monitor, so before 3, though. That's sick. Yeah, the CRT monitor is a nice touch. I don't have one that I could use at the moment, but I do want to try it someday. That's really cool, though, Kaz. It's awesome that you were inspired to do that. Makes me really happy to hear comments like this. Let's Plays are a lot of fun. It's probably actually my favorite content to do, weirdly enough. Even though I've done a lot more mod showcases, I think Let's Plays are my favorite because that's where I get to share, you know, the role-playing passion, and I also get like really revitalized and like inspired at the start of them when I'm trying out new concepts or new characters. And I like seeing how stories, you know, play out like that. I really like Daggerfall music. Wish Morrowind had a music mod with the Daggerfall music. Yeah, I love Daggerfall's music. I've actually still like not modded the music out of Daggerfall because I'm such a big fan of it. Let's go to a little open ground here and see if someone walks to us. I forgot to do that last time. But yeah, I know Daggerfall does have some music mods, but I don't know. I'm such a big fan of the original soundtrack that I don't touch it really. You're 34 too? Nice, Pumpy. Yeah. I feel like most of us were in our mid-30s in this channel. Yeah, I actually felt young. Like 2 streams ago, all the 40-year-olds were here. Daggerfall was my deceased wife's favorite CRPG. Wow. I introduced her to Elder Scrolls with Arena before the Elder Scrolls 2 was released. She beat Arena with an acrobat. That's awesome. That is no easy feat, honestly. The acrobat is the most notorious kind of trolly pre-made class for Daggerfall as well. That's beautiful, though, that she was a fan of this game. And sorry for your loss, of course. Cliffhorn is a nice dude, absolutely. Yeah, I've spoken to him just a little bit. But really nice guy. And extremely talented mod author. Of course, goes without saying. One of the best. I'm 31. Nice. I'm impressed by your work ethic, honestly. I love George R. Martin's work ethic. I'm very good at the few things I'm passionate about, but when it comes to an obligation, like work-wise, even hobby work, I just collapse. Yeah, I can understand that. When I was, I think like October, November of last year, my YouTube channel was really slowing down. I was doing like one video a month back then. I had so few subscribers. Maybe you guys, some of you weren't around back then, but yeah, I was doing like almost no content. I was just not really feeling it. But the one cool thing for me is that because YouTube is just purely a hobby, I know some people approach YouTube, it has to be a job for them, and there's a lot of pressure to perform well and to have videos do well. For me, I'm lucky that it's purely a hobby, but it's really grown into a passion for me. That's why I'm putting so much work into it. Oh, we actually did get a traveler here. That's cool. But because of that, I just don't have that kind of pressure, really. But it is kind of weird. In my mind, like psychologically, I still do care about performance, and I don't really know why. Like, I think it's because when I put all the work in, I just want to do well. And it feels weird when you work really hard on a video and then it just performs like way worse than something you worked like half as hard on, which is just obviously how it goes sometimes. But yeah, for me, having this stay as a hobby is the goal for me, because I love having this as a hobby. And I'll have periods where I'm more inspired to do stuff and, some where I'm less inspired, of course, or where I'm playing a different game, so I'm kind of focusing less on Daggerfall. But yeah, I could definitely understand where if it could collapse if it becomes too much of an obligation for you. Hey, Shpan, do you like single-player first-person shooter games? I haven't played too many, to be honest. Off the top of my head, though, there was an old boomer shooter game I played. Man, I'm not even going to be able to think of the game. I have it on GOG. You play as like some kind of government agent. It's very similar to Doom. It even has like the level layouts like that. Someone might know the name. But I've played so few single-player first-person shooters, honestly. Tomorrow, August 2nd, I'm 46-year-old. Yo, what's up, Federico? Happy early birthday. 46 years young. If you show up in the stream tomorrow, I'll give you a nice little happy birthday song. You can hold me to it. If you have any simple suggestions, I'd love to hear, or just things you wish to see in games. Mid-40s, played the original Daggerfall when it came out. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Daggerfall vids speak to people who were teens when Daggerfall came out, or adults. Yeah, absolutely. I would have loved to have been around there for the original release of Daggerfall. I unfortunately was a little bit too young. My older brother was probably the age. He played a lot of RPGs, but I don't think we had Daggerfall in the house back then. I would have been 4 years old, I think, when Daggerfall originally released. And I actually did not get into like any Elder Scrolls games until much later in my life. I'll have to share some CRT pics in the Discord. Yeah, for sure. That's sick. I'm working on a mod project right now where a quest will be made based on rumors from NPCs. Like when you hear about a bat problem in X Town, then you can actually go to X Town and clear out the bats for rewards. That's sick, Blooming. Yeah, something like that with some world reactivity like that would be really nice. It's gorgeous with the retro frame mod. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it would be cool. I would like to see that myself. Maybe I should put more thought into finding a CRT. Was it maybe called Strife? I don't think it was called Strife. I think if I heard the name, I would know. It's possible it could be called Strife, but I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell for me. Cold Zero. Man, I feel like if I heard the name, I would know it, though. And for rumors with warring factions, you can go to any faction hole for either side, then... Wait, my chat's moving too fast. Then side with one side. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Or another infects your reputation. That would be crazy as well. That sounds like a ton of work, this mod. Me too, still have the game in the box. Oh, that's sick. Man, I really want to get a physical copy. I want to get a physical copy, even if I don't use it, the physical copy, just for kind of for like a display in my room. I like having physical copies in general, though. But Daggerfall right now, like the big box physical copy, is super expensive right now. The YouTube incentives are pretty sad. Sometimes I wonder how many videos are presenting a nuanced take on an issue, but I was repulsed on it because the title was something like X Destroyed, because that's what the algorithm likes. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of kind of like, I don't know, videos like that trying to farm engagement that way. It definitely works for the algorithm, I think. Government agent boomer shooter. It's not tech war, is it? I don't remember a shooter as a government agent. We'll have to look into it. I could be wrong about that detail. I actually could check it right now. Just give me a second, actually. I'm going to pull up my GOG. I have it bought, so I can show you. I could be wrong. It maybe not be a government agent. It could be like some kind of like private agent thing. I was disappointed to see Vanilla didn't have that, so I want to make it. Yeah, it would be amazing. I would love to try that out if you ever get to that, Blooming. You know, any mod authors, you guys, if you ever want me to check out a mod on stream, you can always contact me, and I'd be happy to do it on a live stream or maybe for a mod showcase video at some point. But all right, I got my GOG open. Let me find which game this was. It's called Rise of the Triad Dark War. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this game. I thought that was pretty fun, actually. I don't know if it's popular or considered like one of the better boomer shooters, mechanics-wise and stuff, but oh, I got a ghoul on me right here. Not Tech War? Is that a bad game, Zombie? I don't think I ever heard of it before. Yeah, it'll be my first mod, so maybe I should ease into it with a simple one, but I'm so passionate about this idea. I want to write some good reactive quests and dialogue for each quest, make it proper. I would love that, Blooming, yeah. It's something the game needs a lot. Rumors in general, I think, could use some good modded content, not just in the way that you're thinking about it, but I feel like there's a lot of potential there, and it hasn't really been touched that much, though there was one mod that added a couple rumors, but it was more just like a flavor thing, which is still cool, too. Soon sounds like Rise of the Triad. Oh, yeah, you called it, Masters. Yeah. That's Wolfenstein Engine. You got it right. Yeah, that's sick. Good call. Yo, Rise of the Triad rules. Yeah, I thought this game was sick. I really liked it. It's like the only boomer shooter I play, too. I just don't really play that genre. I don't know why this stuck out to me. I think it was super cheap on GOG one day, and I was like, I want to try one of these. I was in the right mood. But yeah, I thought this game was pretty sick. The mechanics were really clean, too. It felt good. It was satisfying. It was pretty fast, but not like too fast. But yeah, I liked it. I thought that was the game you were referring to. That game get pretty wild with the platform style weirdness. Yeah, it had its moments. It was fairly challenging, I'd say. I'm not really good at boomer shooters, so for me, I felt like it was pretty challenging. Doom 2 is my other favorite game. It's very unique to usual FPS games today. There are RPG elements such as damage ranges and armor with various That's sick, yeah. Yeah, I haven't really played the Dooms. I think I did play Doom 3, though, when I was older. But I think Doom 3 doesn't really count as a boomer shooter anymore, right? Does it? I don't know if it does or not. I know it looked a lot different than the older ones. If he gets into Doom modding, he might never post a Daggerfall video again. I know, the modding scene's absolutely insane for that game. Which I would be curious just to check out on my own at some point. You know, even if I didn't do anything for the channel, I would just be kind of curious. Like the boomer shooter's not like I wouldn't call it like a favorite genre of mine, but when the right one comes along that kind of fits the aesthetic that I like and the vibe, I can definitely like that genre. But I haven't just played too many, really. Doom 3 is definitely not a boomer shooter. Gotcha. Yeah, I thought so. Games based on the Duke Nukem engine can always so get pretty weird, like Blood, which is unique in the way it parodies 70s and 80s horror tropes. I don't think I've heard of Blood. There's so much potential, and I'm glad I'm not the only one. The game needs something like this. I prefer someone who knew what they're doing does this. I collab with writing. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, I would love to see someone try to tackle something like this. Damn it, now I have ROTT music stuck in my head. Nice. Mission accomplished over here. I do kind of want to stream some other games for you guys sometimes, especially because I know my stream, we kind of chat a lot. And so the vibe is kind of just chill conversation stuff. So I think sometimes if it's not Daggerfall, it could be okay, right? And maybe I would play some other, even non-fantasy RPGs could be cool. How are you riding a llama? Hey, what's up, Joshua? This is, I don't know if you have the Free Reign mod, Joshua. I can write it in the chat for you, though. This mod, Free Reign, on top of redesigning the kind of the physics and the momentum and the feeling of riding a horse, it also, if you check the mod settings here, it also gives you an option on the third page if you scroll over. It says riding. You could choose between a camel and a horse. And there's a couple different variants for each one, which change the color and some other little physical appearances. But yeah, whenever I go to the desert regions, I like to go with the camel. for the flavor. Shrine 2 was a good one. Played Shrine 1 after and couldn't get into it. I don't think I've heard of Shrine either. Yo, Cold Zero with another donation. Oh my goodness. Cold Zero, you're funding the channel at this point. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Play Blood or get back your gamer card. Is this a really well-known game, Blood? I don't know if I've heard of this. Blood. Wait, is it on GOG, guys? Could I check it out? I wonder if it's on GOG or just like Steam or something. Yo, Cold Zero, thank you again, honestly. I really appreciate it. Blood, huh? Blood's also a boomer shooter, I'm guessing then, right? I'm going down the fast way today. Any experienced modders in the chat who like the idea of rumors-based quest system, let me know how to link it up. Let's get this done. Yeah, I would love to see that. Check out Venturous. Adventures of Square, Pirate Doom, and Ashes for a few Doom mods. Those sound cool. Are those like different campaigns mostly, or are they just like system overhauls maybe? I have an outline for the mod mechanics already figured out. Nice. All right, let's wait for some wandering NPCs to show up again. That's sick. Thanks. Yeah, it's really cool, Joshua. This is a really nice mod. And even if you don't use the camel, the actual like controls of the horse is so much better with this mod on. It feels great. Good momentum. You can look independently from where the horse is moving, as you can see. It's nice. Realms of the Haunting is a unique combo shooter. Good FMV cutscenes. I'm a big fan of FMV cutscenes in games. And point-and-click adventure. That's interesting. With a wild variety of color palettes and environments. Not something you see anymore. That's pretty cool. Man, I got to make a list at the end of this stream. I'm going to go through my VOD and write some of these down, including all the older like fantasy book recommendations earlier. Blood is good. It's a boomer shooter though, right? Cold Zero making it rain. Yeah. Blood would absolutely be on GOG. Okay, cool. It's a hard one. There's new release of Blood. Interesting. Cold Zero is like, you smart, you look, go buy your mom ass. They're total conversions. Gotcha. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. Is that like the main type of mod content for Doom that people like total conversion mods like that? I guess it creates a new campaign, kind of. Yeah, Blood is build engine like Duke 3D and Shadow Warrior boomer shooters. Gotcha. Okay. I've heard of Shadow Warrior as well. Yeah. Man, it's kind of funny. The boomer shooters are like, they are almost, like I'm almost a little young for a lot of them, you know, which is kind of funny with how me being not young at all. But it's an interesting thing because I kind of missed it growing up. Like, even though I probably was a little young for them, but not like young enough to not play them, of course. They definitely would have been around. Like my brother probably played one of them or two of them, but I just somehow missed them all. I really did not play them growing up. Yeah, I don't think I can't think of like any off the top of my head that I played when I was young. Are they doing any more PlayStation game reviews? I'd love to see more hidden gems like Project Overkill or Brahma Force. I don't think I know either of those two games. Yeah, Zombie. When I play like a certain random game that's a new game for the year, and I just really am enjoying it, I like to make a video as a way to kind of like close the book on the game for me. It's also a way to organize my thoughts about the game. So when I do like I don't know, like a hidden gem videos, it's really super random. I don't actually really plan it out, but when I was playing the Ghost in the Shell PS1 game, I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this arcade vibe. I really like the artwork and the cinematics and how they animated those cutscenes. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about this. But those are super, just like, if I'm feeling passionate about a game, I might cover it if I played it. There are a couple older games that I played that I do want to go back to covering. Like I did go back and cover Neverwinter Nights. I did go back and cover Realms of Arcania, which I liked. And there's another game called Ascension of the Throne, which is a really rough game and it's really weird. But I kind of want to cover it because it tried to do something really unique. And for me, it didn't always succeed. But it's a really interesting game, and there's really not much like it. It's another like fantasy RPG. But yeah, I will also cover probably in the future some other older games, maybe PS2, maybe PS1. Just kind of when the mood strikes me and I'm feeling passionate about a game, I might do that. There are some excellent Dalek vs. Movelin Doom conversion mods floating around. I'm not sure what those are either as well. Map packs, gameplay changing mods, weapon mods, and total conversions are all popular in the Doom community. The modding scene is huge, which is suggesting some flashy ones. I like. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. gameplay changing mods. I wonder if I shouldn't touch that right away. As someone that doesn't know too much about it. There's some pretty creepy enemies and weird weapons. He has my vote for the rumor-based quest. Nice, yeah. I would like that a lot too. We would definitely stream it. If Wayward Realms never gets finished, we'll at least have Daggerfall Unity and most of Tamriel itself. Open Morrowind. Yeah, right, of course, yeah. Open Morrowind, I didn't even use that because I didn't even know about it earlier last year, which is so funny. That's definitely going to be something I grab when I actually cover Morrowind again, because I did not even know about it. Wow, that's a weird layout here. Haven't played D in a decade. A few days ago, I've fallen asleep to one of your playthroughs. Installed D Unity a few days ago later and playing now. Awesome. I always love hearing that. There's a surprising amount of you guys that enjoy putting my streams on it, you know, before you sleep and stuff. That's cool. Daggerfall is honestly very good for that. Daggerfall just has the right aesthetic. It has the right sounds. Like, I don't know. It's such a cozy game. Shpan, do you love any non-RPG/fantasy games? For example, Shadows of Doubt is one for me. Greatest detective game ever because you actually solve clues since evidence procedurally emerges through NPC behavior. That sounds sick. Unlike LA Noire, which is great, but clues are based on pre-written story. Yeah, and can be cheese. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've heard of Shadows of Doubt. But yeah, there's a lot of other older games. When I was younger, I mostly played the PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 2 for me is like a very cozy, very nostalgia-filled console for me. So a lot of those older games I was a big fan of. Like for horror games, I liked Clock Tower 3 a lot. I have like a lot of memories about the first enemy that hunts you in that game. A lot of them I haven't revisited in many years. But there's also another game. I think I made a video on this game like 6 years ago, which is crazy. But I used to speedrun a game called Lifeline on PS2. And this to me is one of the most interesting games. It's a Japanese game, and it's controlled completely with your voice. There's some things you could do with buttons. It's a bit of a survival horror game, and you're speaking into a microphone to help this lady survive in this like spaceship. And it's a really misunderstood game. It gets memed a lot. It gets trolled a lot because people scream into the microphone. They have to understand it's PlayStation 2 technology, and the voice recognition was a lot, you know, rougher back then. But when you understand the systems, it controls very well. And I'm a big fan of the speedrun for Lifeline. And every year I play it once. I play it once a year. It's a big nostalgia title for me. And I think I still love the systems of it. I still love the kind of cheesy, silly story of it. And the voice acting is good. And well, maybe not good, but classic. So I'd say Lifeline 2 is that game for me. It's a game I always come back to. And I don't know if I'd recommend you guys play it. I don't know if you guys would love it. But yeah, it's a game I speedrun. And I do think about speedrunning it again. I just don't know where I would do it. I used to do it live streams for it. But I had like no online presence back then. So it was just for myself, kind of. But yeah, one of my favorite games for sure. I know it's kind of blasphemic, but is there a mod that shrinks Daggerfall down to just the dungeons or almost just the dungeons? Oh, yo, Mr. Radis, I have the perfect mod for you called On-Site Procurement. Is that what it's called? Yeah, On-Site Procurement is actually, I'm going to type it in the chat for you, Radis. It's actually like a roguelike mode. So you consider it like a roguelike mode where, and I can actually show, oh, I don't have it on right now. I don't have the mod on right now because I was doing some other testing, but the way it works, Radis, is on the bottom of the screen, there's like an on-site procurement mode. You click on it, you can set up a pre-made character, and you can choose all random if you want, or you could choose the class, you could choose the gender, the level. You could even do a custom build if you want to. Yeah, it's basically a roguelike mode, though. You can choose which dungeon region you want to go to, all that kind of stuff. The one for use for your videos on YouTube? Yeah, exactly, Mr. Radis. That kind of gives you at least a boiled down Daggerfall that's basically just the dungeons. It might be a little challenging at first, so you might want, if you're kind of new to the game, so you might want to choose like a strong character or a high level character, but yeah. I definitely recommend it though. If you just want to try out the combat or try out the dungeon delving a little bit, it's a good place to start, I think. I heard about Lifeline, but I never played it since I grew up on PC. Once a year, I play Jagged Alliance 2. Oh, Jagged Alliance 2 is another game on my list, Cold Zero. Man, you just reminded me. That game, my brother loves that game, Jagged Alliance 2. He also loves like Wasteland and stuff, but I haven't played Jagged Alliance 2. But I watched a little bit. I think it's really cool. Man, I forgot about that game. That's also on my backlog. Lifeline sounds incredible. I got to look into it. I wonder if it'll work on an emulator. It does work on an emulator, but the mechanics change a little bit, Blooming. Yeah, I don't know if you guys will necessarily love it. Part of why I love it is like my history with it, and because I spent a lot of time like learning the systems, and I like the speed run. It's just a very cozy game for me. But I know for some people it's a very frustrating experience. She won't hear you sometimes, and that's kind of what's cool about it. And some people mistake it because it's voice controlled. They might think like, okay, the game's on Rails, but it's actually not the same as being on Rails. There are set solutions that you can memorize with the voice, but when you control her in combat with the voice commands, nothing about that's on Rails. You got to learn like enemy weak points, but you know, even the best people at the game will sometimes have like misinputs with her. So it kind of creates this dynamic thing where it's like, sometimes she doesn't hear you correctly and she'll shoot the wrong thing. It's just like unlike any other gaming experience, really. But yeah, it might be frustrating. I've modded for Oblivion and Skyrim myself over the years. Very cool. When I had the time, I'd like to improve the Daggerfall vampire experience, but someone will probably beat me to it. Oh no, Masters, I don't know if you just heard. There was a huge vampire overhaul mod that just came out, and I just covered it. It's called Astrid's Guide to Vampirism. It's absolutely insane. It's super creative. There's like new narrative elements, voice acting, new music. It's so crazy. It really builds on the role-playing experience of like urban, village, and town-based vampire roleplay. I did a little live stream of it if you want to check it out in the VOD, if you're curious. But yeah, that literally just came out though. PS2 was an incredible era. I try not to slip into nostalgia goggles, but there's something unbeatable about the PS2 era. If PS3 or 4 had backwards compatibility with PS2, they would be perfect platforms. Absolutely. When PS3 came out, I stuck with the PS2. And then when the PS4 came out, I was still playing my PS2. It was so crazy. I didn't buy either of those consoles. I stuck with it. I'm going to put my standing desk up one sec, guys, and get some drink here. You might hear a little noise for a little bit. Just to make sure my back's not sitting too much. I always love these innovative old games that quite don't land the execution, but had solid concept. Something about it really appeals. A great idea can sometimes save mid-execution if the soul is there. Absolutely, yeah. I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff. And I actually find as I get older, I just appreciate it more and more. There was something amazing about the era back then where things were less... I guess there was less of like a general sense of how things should be, you know? Sometimes you'll play an old game, it just controls like no other game because... there was less of an accepted norm for how games had to control or what systems had to be present. And because of that, you get a lot of unique ideas in the past that are still very good today, in my opinion, you know? Still valuable today, still have creative ideas. But yeah, Lifeline is one of those games for me, for sure. My favorite adventure game is Darkfall, the original one. Such a great atmosphere. Darkfall, I don't know if I know that one. Is that not an RPG, or is that like a point-and-click game because you said adventure, maybe? Yo, what's up, Vox? Glad you like the vampire mod? Yeah, it's amazing. You did such a good job with that, man. It turned out perfectly. Yo, my bad, guys. I'm kind of, I'm not even playing. I'm just talking. Man, I really underestimated how hard it is to, like, stream and chat. Let's wait for an NPC to walk by and see what the rate is. Any games like Daggerfall, or was it Lightning in a Bottle? Yo, what's up, Ham? There's a couple, yeah. There's Devil Spire's Fall is a good one. Kenshi's kind of similar. I guess you can kind of treat some of the other Elder Scrolls game a little bit like Daggerfall. At least Arena can be a little bit similar. But yeah, there's not that many proper sandbox RPGs, right? But there are a couple games being made. I don't know if you heard about the Wayward Realms. There's also the Indie Scrolls. There's also Broken Dagger. There's also Lantern of the Laughless Saint, right? That's kind of more like Morrowind, I heard, though. But yeah, Devil Spire Falls might be the closest if you're looking for something most like Daggerfall. At least is what I heard. I haven't played it myself yet, though. Two of my all-time 90s fave, this and Star Control 2. Both have the original creators working on true successors, so hype. Yo, Possum Billy, I don't know if you were the one that told me about Star Control 2, but someone else might have mentioned it to me. But yeah, that looks interesting. I did look into it a little bit. But yeah, I haven't played too many of like those older games like that. I guess I really can't think of any game that's quite like that I've played off the top of my head. I might have, though. Back when I was younger, I did play a lot of random PC games, but Not that one for sure. The idea of great idea of execution basically describes Daggerfall, which is why we both gravitate towards this game. Yeah, for sure. Which is why the modding scene is so perfect. Question, anyone know what to do for my Daggerfall Unity run on my Steam Deck when it doesn't want to save anymore? I've had to put it down because of that. It's just overloading or something. Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about the Steam Deck, unfortunately. I wouldn't be able to help you there. Maybe someone in chat knows. It's a first-person adventure game, ghost game. Gotcha, that's cool. What year was that? Is that like a much older game? I can't think of too many like first-person adventure games anymore, honestly. I'm playing the heck out of Devil's Fire Falls nice. Albeit, I think the King's Field influence looks stronger than the Daggerfall one. Interesting. I did like King's Field a lot. I only played Ancient City, though. Ancient City is a really awesome game, though. That's the old From Software. If you guys are big... I'm not a big Souls-like fan, but a long time ago, From Software would do King's Field games. And, yeah, I like Ancient City a lot. The Gold Box games are in dire need of a unified emulation engine, but those are so old they might not appeal to folks who didn't grow up with a printed rule book. Yeah, I played some of the Gold Box games. I have a bunch of them on GOG. I got to get to more of them. My favorite old like DOS game, though, is Dark Sun Shattered Lands for sure. Are there any mods that make Daggerfall like Mountain Blade? Oof, that is hard to say. I guess there's the Doom Feuds, RZR. Doom Feuds can kind of give you that more grand scale. Maybe Lies of Banditry can also give you that vibe a little bit, but yeah, Mountain Blade is such a unique type of game, huh? I don't know. There could be some other Daggerfall mods that scratch that itch. I don't think you'll find anything that's like quite perfect for capturing that. Tabletop gaming is a very different beast. Yeah, I haven't done too much tabletop gaming, though. When I did my Realms of Arcania video, it attracted a lot of like German viewers. I don't know if you guys know, the Dark Eye is like very big in Germany. And I think it's bigger than even Dungeons & Dragons is for them there. So I did my Realms of Arcania video, and a lot of German people were kind of reaching out to me. And one of them even offered to run a tabletop game, like online, if I could find some players to do it. Which I'm tempted to take them up on that offer someday. Yo, check how beautiful this sky is right now as well today. It's a crazy one. When you get the cloudy days with dynamic skies, and I guess this is, yeah, this is sunrise. It gets really pretty. That's why Dynamic Skies is one of my favorite mods. That's how I got back to you? Yeah, Radis, exactly. Yeah, that was so funny, Radis. When I saw your comment, I was like, man, what are the chances that you pop into this video here? But yeah, I had a lot of German people talking to me on that, and one of them was like a DM, I guess, for some Dark Eye stuff. So it was pretty cool. 2002, the Darkfall game? Oh, okay, yeah. So that's not too old then. Let me catch up on some more of these comments here. We got to make a Scrolls-like master list or something. Yeah, I would like that myself. Someone put that in the Discord. Yeah, Darkfall game, yeah. Realms of Arcania is love. I loved that game. I really love the third one, but they're all great. That game really surprised me. I had never played anything quite like that. And I mentioned in the video where I covered it a few times that Realms of Arcania, guys, it really is the most like a tabletop experience. The way the characters function in that game is so different from other CRPGs that you've played. There'll be moments where, like, first of all, the game makes you take, like, you know in Daggerfall, you got your attributes, right? These would be considered all positive attributes. In Realms of Arcania, you have a huge list of negative attributes. These things can be like avarice, lust. I don't know if lust is actually one of them, but this is the idea, right? I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's like a list of like 6 or 7 of them, and you have to take them, and you have to put your points into them. And when you're doing things in random dungeon, like maybe your character that has a high avarice will, outside of your control, try to grab some shiny gem, and that can cause an encounter, or cause some other text-based role-playing moment to happen, or make you pass some kind of skill check. Or it could start like a full sequence of different skill checks, like someone got greedy, they fell down a, like a hidden shaft, then you have to like use your athletic skill to try and bring them back up, but they fall down anyway, and then there's other skill checks. It's absolutely crazy how dynamic that game is with the skills, but I absolutely love having a list of negative personality traits, not just like skills, but personality traits, things that your characters, are actually defined by their behavior in dungeons and stuff. So it's very cool. Yeah, necrophobia is one of them as well. Claustrophobia too. Oh yeah, Cold Zero, good call. You're remembering them. Yeah, so like someone might be too afraid to go into like a small hole to get to the other side or something. They might be afraid of undead and flee a combat encounter. It's just so sick. Yeah, that's why I made a video on that. I don't usually make videos of games outside Daggerfall, but when I'm really feeling it, I'll do that. The closest to Mountain Blade gameplay I've managed is the Elder Scrolls game is with Mysterious Bear's Necromancy mod in Oblivion. Interesting. Although that was closer to first-person Dungeon Keeper. Oh, Dungeon Keepers are cool games too. I've heard of those. Skies like this is why I can't go back to Vanilla Skies, even with its unique tilt a world charm. Yeah, blooming. Yeah, I know it gives some people headaches. I think that old sky, the skybox. I'm actually building a tabletop game. The artist that drew my thumbnails and my avatar is making the art. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I love the art for your thumbnails. I was actually going to ask you, Vox, if you did them yourself, because they're really pretty. I like how they have the black and white, like, pencil-like aesthetic. Very nice. I wish I was an artist. I try to practice on my own sometimes, but very sparingly. Necrophobia is one of the negatives. Claustrophobia, yeah, right? Howdy, sorry I'm late. Yo, what's up, Valentine Puppy? All good? Yeah, we were checking out some of the Wandering NPCs mod, which is cool. I think I have a good setting for it. Oh, speaking of it. Oh, wait, no, that's actually a zombie, I think. Let's check this out. Let's do a little investigation here. Nah, it's just a zombie, okay. But yeah, I would love to stream a few more of these games if you guys are down to watch it. A couple on my list would be, of course, Devil Spire Falls. Of course, Kenshi. Of course, a boomer shooter of your guys' choice. They go on sale for so cheap. I'll pick one up that you guys like if you recommend me a cool one. Yeah, I also have Might and Magic 7 on my short list of games I want to play soon. There's just so many, man. Devil Spire Falls feels a bit like approaching a Daggerfall spiritual successor from the opposite angle as Wayward Realms. Wayward focuses more on the kings and backstabbing aspects of Daggerfall, while Devil Spire Falls captures a spooky supernatural aspect. That's cool. I get random Dark Eye moods sometimes. The setting's actually pretty similar to Elder Scrolls, but with clear differences. Yeah, I think their systems are very clever. And I think maybe when the original creators of Dark Eye, or at least Realms of Arcania, when they were thinking about how to build a role-playing, I think they were thinking about, like, the party you make is as if you were sitting down next to people in a tabletop session. Those other party members actually feel like people with their own personalities, their own vices. They're going to make mistakes in the middle of a dungeon and screw up the situation or something, which is so funny. But they also have really clutch moments where they'll save you, you know? I really liked my jester. I think I made a jester, and she was so awesome. She was really good at doing, like, performances to deal with crowds in, like, city situations when they would pop up. Yeah, she was super good at, like, diffusing social situations. And she was good at distractions as well, which was really nice. Kenshi is more than a game. It's more like a lifestyle, yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious about Kenshi. It's probably the highest on my list. It's maybe a little bit above Devil Spire Falls as, like, games I'm interested in right now. I just feel like Kenshi's going to be sick. And a really good fit for my, like, aesthetic and stuff that I like. If you like games with negative personality traits, you absolutely need to try Project Zomboid. Very much like the Advantage Disadvantage system in Daggerfall. Also satisfies your penchant for permadeath. That's cool. I have not heard of that game either, I don't think. Honestly, it's crazy. So many good games I just don't have an idea of right now. My Magic 7 was one of my favorite games as a kid. I must have played the beginning so many times trying to slay the dragon. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Eric. I played enough of the intro where you're doing the little hunting game. I love the intro to My Magic 7. It's probably the best intro, but I haven't gotten much further in the game. I did see the dragon, though. I didn't beat it. I know there's ways to cheese it, I heard online. And you get like a ton of wealth injected into the beginning of your playthrough, right? But Might and Magic 7, I really like the aesthetic. I like the combat. It's really fun. And I liked Might and Magic 8. And I've heard people generally think 7's better, so kind of curious about that. Here's of Might and Magic, another classic with an upcoming release. Yeah, I think it's actually out, possibility. If you're talking about Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era, oh, maybe it's early access, actually. I could be wrong about that. But I love Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Huge fan. Though I'm not the best at it, I'll be honest. I don't have, like, the strats that I see the top streamers do. Very healthy modding community for Project Zomboid 2. Nice. And very in-depth mechanics. You'd like it a lot, even if it's post-apocalypse, yeah. And you don't strike me as that kind of vibe, though. Could be wrong. Yeah, generally not always my favorite, though. Kind of depends on how that's used as a setting. Like Dark Sun, you could maybe argue like post-apocalyptic, but maybe not exactly. It's kind of hard to say exactly, but I do like that kind of punishing setting like that. Yeah, early access right now. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I think we might have to stop here. This was really fun to check out this mod. It works great. I highly recommend you guys add this to your list. And if you do try it out, definitely give the mod author a endorsement on their page, of course. Yeah, this was a ton of fun. I'm sorry that I'm so bad at both playing and reading chat. But yeah, this was a long one. I think this was my longest stream yet, maybe 4 hours. So I always appreciate you guys hanging out. It's always a lot of fun. I'm really surprised at how much I'm enjoying the streaming side of things. I didn't used to stream just until like 10 days ago because I was just sticking to the, YouTube videos, which I like making as well. But the streaming stuff has been awesome. I'm getting really cool ideas about, future games I should play. I love just talking about RPGs with you guys and fantasy stuff. But yeah, I think I'm going to continue to do random streams throughout the week like this. Because of Cold Zero, we got the goal for tomorrow's stream. So I'm going to do tomorrow's stream as well. We're going to start again at 12 p.m. That time seems the best for you guys. Maybe on Sunday I'll change to a different time, but tomorrow will be 12 p.m. And I think we'll do episode 3 of the Thief playthrough. I think that'll be fun, unless some crazy mod comes out. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me, chatting and all that. Thanks again for the super chats as well. I always appreciate it. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next stream. I might also have a video coming out next week, actually, on it'll probably be on like tutorial stuff. So I wouldn't expect the Druid playthrough necessarily next week, but I'm working hard on like a very in-depth kind of like tutorial content for Daggerfall. So I hope that'll be cool. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything. Last thing. Oh yeah, the Discord, if you want to follow that, that's cool too. Is there anything else I'm missing? If you want to follow me on Twitch, I'll also put that in the chat. What else? I think that's it. All right. Thanks again, guys. Take care.